I was muted. Oh my God. Okay, let me start it from the top again. You're welcome to today's live conversation. Oh my God. To those of you on YouTube, my sincere apologies. I did not realize that I was muted. Okay, but we're here now. We're here now. All right. So from the top, you're welcome to today's live conversation. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the T. Before I realized I was muted, I was actually giving accolades to those of you that were waiting at the door of today's meeting. I mean, before we started, I could see a bunch of comments in the comment section. You guys were already pumped up. You're already here. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for making our time to join the conversation today. God bless all of you. Thanks for coming through. I'm super excited because today's conversation is very, very realistic. I think it's going to be the most realistic type of conversation we're going to be having this season about the Big Brother Naija No Lose Guard season. All right. And I call it one of the most realistic because, in one way or the other, every single one of us, we've actually experienced some level of sibling rivalry or some sort of topsy-turvy type of relationship, with maybe our loved ones or anybody that we fancy or anybody that we've been with at some point or the other in our life. And for today's conversation, Gloria Elijah is putting out the disclaimer that she is no relationship expert. And so I will not be doing all of the talking. I will not be a relationship therapist today because I am not a certified one. I do not claim to be one. But instead, I would love to hear from all of you. I would love for you to share your experiences, right? Using what's going on in the house currently between Onyeka and Chizoba and Wanni and Shaun as a case study, for a realistic situation. Because one thing I love about this Big Brother Naija show is that one way or the other, no matter the games, no matter the strategies that housemates play, you will you would one way or the other find a likely situation, like a situation that you've probably experienced before or you're probably experiencing, and it sort of gives you more authority to give an opinion on it because it is that realistic to you. You've probably experienced it one way or the other before, or you know somebody that knows somebody that actually experienced it, all right? But before we begin sharing experiences, let's look at the matter before us. Okay, so beginning with Wanni and Shaun's relationship. I've done several videos this week, especially stemming from the altercation that they both had this week. And we've been able on YouTube, we've been able to point out a lot of issues in that ship. Now, whether it is a strategic ship or it is just a mere romantic ship, we don't know, right? We're not really sure because at the moment, what we are seeing is Shaun is obviously playing a game. But Wanni, on the other hand, we're not really certain yet if she's actually playing a game as well, or if she is madly in love with this guy. Hence the reason she's doing most of the things that she does in the house for him and to herself, especially. Yeah. So looking at their relationship this week, we've looked at the disrespect from Shaun towards Wanni. We've seen his, his disregard for her person, for her personality. We've seen how he completely disregards her in front of the fellow housemates. We've seen how he speaks to her rudely and disrespectfully. And this is not to say that Wanni herself is quite innocent in all of this. Wanni herself sometimes comes off as harsh towards him. And so we cannot say for sure 100% that she's actually reacting to how Shaun treats her. But we can say for sure that Shaun's actions towards Wanni are solely, independent of whatever Wanni is doing. He comes with his own tailored manner with how he wants to address her. And I think and at every given point in time that he addresses her, guys, there's one level of disrespect or the other attached to it. We've also seen that their relationship is completely unbalanced. There's a situation of the giver and the receiver there. In other words, it is a case of unrequited love that comes with unreciprocated energy, unreciprocated attention, affection, and even resources that grows a relationship. We see that Wanni does most of the giving, whilst Shaun does most of the receiving. We've seen a situation where Shaun would rather just sit and be babied around the house. The only time we know that Shaun is quite assertive is when they have arguments. The only time we know that Shaun tends to be quite logical in thinking is when they have an argument, when he becomes overly defensive, when he becomes overly argumentative, gesticulating violently or rather aggressively, when he's trying to stamp his authority and when he's trying to make his point known and forcefully accepted by Wanni. But aside that, we've seen a relationship where Shaun constantly stays on that very high pedestal that Wanni has placed him. And so he receives everything that she gives. He receives all the love, all the care, all the attention. She does the cooking for him. She does his laundry. She picks up after him. She cleans up after him. Like more like, guys, overall, I just call it a pick me. Yeah, she just basically gives off a pick me energy. It's like, I'm trying not to be too harsh with my analysis, but I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. But we've seen a situation where Shaun is the receiver, like 100% of the time. He is the receiver. She gives most of the PDAs. And most of the time, when she gives those PDAs, his body language shows his lack of interest. His body language gives off the energy of one who is who finds her repugnant. I don't know if you get me. You look at his facial expression, you just see his body language overall. It gives off that energy of one who is irritated by what she does. But for the sake of the game, he just has to condone it. That is the energy that we get from Shaun, or I have, particularly observed from Shaun. But Wanni, on the other hand, she does the giving. She gives and gives and gives until she is spent, until she is drained, until she is exhausted. She gives to the point of when she has nothing more to give, she begins to also take from her sister, Ndi, to also give to Shaun. And what do I mean? By the time Shaun has completely rid her of her self-esteem, rid her of her self-regard, Shaun goes ahead to disrespect her sister Ndi in most of their arguments, and Wanni allows it to happen. Wanni does not stand up for her sister. Now, we're not saying that Shaun has been aggressive towards Ndi. No. As a matter of fact, they are friends. But we're seeing the case of Shaun disrespecting Wanni, and when Ndi tries to step into the picture, he equally disrespects her, disregarding the so-called friendship that they have. So it's more like a parasitic type of relationship. It is not symbiotic at all. It's very much parasitic. Shaun knows what he is benefiting from that relationship with the twin sisters, not just Wanni now, but the twin sisters, because Ndi, by relationship, by blood, by birth, she feels obliged to equally cater to Shaun the same way her sister caters to Shaun. So Shaun knows what he is benefiting from that relationship. And that is the only thing that keeps him there. And we know from conversations around the house and from his general countenance, the way he reacts to the twin sisters, to Wanni especially, we've seen that this guy really does not hold any iota of affection towards Wanni. It's more about the gains. Oh, I'm in this house, I'm being treated like a king, I'm not lifting a finger to do anything. The girls have got it all covered. The most humiliating part is when there's a food crisis in the house. There's no food. Housemates resort to hoarding food, to hiding food items from the kitchen. Shaun does not engage in any of those things. Those things are beneath him. For him, he's got two soldier ants that does all the footwork for him. So he sits in his elevated pedestal, and then the two sisters, they go ahead to fight for food, to fight for survival. So Shaun, like the queen bee, he sits where he is, and the two sisters, they go all out to do all of these things to take care of him. And so in other words, Shaun does not take up the title or the responsibilities of the man in the relationship. The only time we know that Shaun is the man in the relationship is when it's time for them to argue. The twin sisters, they literally take care of everything, about Shaun. So what am I saying? We see a giver and receiver situationship there, a situation of unrequited love, unreciprocated energy. What else do we see? Yes, I've mentioned the extended disrespect to Ndi, and it's more painful to watch because most of the time when you expect Wanni to, call Shaun to order when he disrespects her sister, she does not do anything about it. Instead, what do you see? You see her crawling back to him. You see her begging. You see her melting, buckling under whatever pressure she has imposed on herself. You see the obvious fear that she does not want to lose whatever she's got going on with Shaun. Now, whatever reason it is, we do not see Wanni fighting for her sister's regard, for her sister's respect. The most recent altercation that he had this week, Wanni, or rather Ndi, had mentioned it to her sister, but a complaint was met with silence and more excuses on Shaun's behalf. At the point where Ndi was telling Wanni, listen, I cannot go and talk to this guy for you because I am scared of him. I am scared of his stubbornness. I'm scared of how defensive he is. I'm scared of how rude he is, his disrespect. Wanni was silent. But we know for a fact that if it was another housemate that dished out disrespect to Shaun, Wanni would go and fight for Shaun. Shaun would not have to lift a finger, but Wanni would go and fight for Shaun. And guess what? Because there is this bond between the twin sisters that sees Ndi following Wanni to do anything Wanni does, good, bad, or ugly, Ndi would be obliged to protect her sister, and that she would follow her sister automatically to the battlefront. Now, what else have we seen? We've seen Wanni choosing Shaun over herself, over her mental health, over her peace of mind, over all of those things I've mentioned for her sister as well. What do I mean? Whenever they have issues, whenever they have their arguments, their altercations, you can see how much it affects Wanni, and automatically too, it affects her sister. But does she take a breather? No. The only thing that she's concerned about is making up with Shaun. And so all it shows is how much she doesn't only disregard her own emotions, her feelings, but also how much she disregards her sister's feelings. People say you cannot advise a woman that is madly in love or blindly in love, but this one is now a case of foolishly in love or in crush. Yeah, foolishly in crush. And so it begs the question of, is this a game for Wanni just as much as it is a game for Shaun? Is this game working for her? If it is a game, are people buying into this narrative that she's creating about herself? Because all what I am seeing as one who watches the show to analyze the show, what I'm seeing is someone that's trying to create a sorry story. A girl who has been traumatized for the most part of her life, who has gone through the most sordid experiences, and then you come into Big Brother's house and then you meet a guy that you fall madly in love with, and the guy is maltreating you, treating you like trash. He's not giving you the energy that you are giving, and you just want people to pity you and feel sad for you and keep you still to the finals. We've seen that happen before on the show. So I'm wondering, is that what Wanni is trying to do? Or is she genuinely in love with Shaun? Hence the reason she would take all the bullshit, disregarding her own feelings, her own mental health, just to be by his side. This week's one was quite annoying because They each had their diary session. That is Shaun and Wanni. And Big Brother had advised Wanni, you know, to be the receiver this time around. Since every time she's the one that is always giving and giving and giving to Shaun, this time around she should chill and be the receiver. I have a strong feeling that Wanni did not understand Big Brother's advice, because anybody would have understood what Big Brother was saying. Big Brother was basically telling Wanni that all the time you are the one giving this guy everything: food, clothing, and shelter, like a homeless person in Big Brother's house. You're the one doing everything for this young man. Aside that, every time you people have an issue, you are the one that goes to beg and apologize for both of you to kiss and make up. He doesn't lift a finger, and that's because you, Wanni, you enable it. And then the tiny little dose of affection that he manages to extend to you, the moment you people have an issue, he revokes everything. He takes back everything. Everything. He treats you like a stranger, and he says the most horrid things to your fellow housemate about you. Now, Big Brother did not say all of these things. I'm just painting the clear picture here of what Big Brother actually meant. And then you give regardless of all of these things. So, for the first time, chill and be the receiver. In other words, Wanni, do not go to Shaun to go and beg. In other words, Wanni, stop doing all what you were doing for Shaun, since he has stopped doing the little and the barest minimum that he has been doing for you, or he sometimes does for you. You chill and let him see your value. Let him see your worth. Let him fight for you. Let him come to you this time around. You just chill, relax, and let the guy do the work. Let him work to get you back. Let him fight to get you back. But guess what? Wanni did not make Shaun to fight for her. She did not even allow it. She did not even give him the space for him to come beg for a hand. Yes, they had a conversation. But for those of you that watched that conversation, you could see that Shaun was not remorseful. He was unapologetic about it all. For him, it's a game. So, what's the big deal? It's a game. I'm seeing some comments in my comment section. I don't understand, where are these comments coming from? Who is this one? Too much of everything is bad. Realize you're always on Shaun and Wanni matter. Listen, I'm blocking you, because I don't understand where your mind is when I said we're actually doing an analysis. If this conversation is too elevated for you, please get out. I don't have time for rubbish today. Please get out, okay? Just get out. I don't have time for this rubbish. Anyways, as I was saying, now, can we blame Shaun in all of this? Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you for free, no, I cannot blame Shaun in all of this. Why? Because first of all, Shaun did not carry Wanni on his head to Big Brother's house. Shaun did not come to Big Brother's house to tell us that he proposed to Wanni outside the house. He did not come to Big Brother's house telling us that, oh, Wanni was his girlfriend outside the house. He did not come to Big Brother's house telling us that, oh, this week I'm getting married to Wanni. No, they are not married. They are not married. They are not gelled in that way. They are not bonded in that way. They are all in Big Brother's house to play the game, to compete for that 100 million. And the theme of the season is no lose guard. So if you lose guard, it's all on you. So at the moment, Wanni is giving off the impression of one that has lost her guard. She's giving off pick-me vibes. She's giving off needy vibes. So she's giving off the air of, oh my God, I am madly in love. I have lost my steps. I have fallen. I have lost my guard. Is it anybody's fault? No. Is it Shaun's fault? No. Shaun is playing his game. And for him, he does not mind being the villain of the season. For him, he does not mind playing a dirty game to gain longevity on the show. So, am I going to blame Shaun for whatever Wanni has chosen to put herself through? No. And that's what I'm going to leave it at. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear your thoughts about this one. Do you think it's a favorable game that these two are actually playing? Because Shaun went into the diary room on, was it Wednesday? And he was crying crocodile tears, in my opinion. For me, those tears were fake and just to buy sympathy because he felt he had gone extreme during the week. Yeah. Now, there was something he said to Big Brother when he was crying. He said he was concerned about people's perception about him because he feels like people would judge him harshly and people would not look at the fact that he's also human and blah, blah, blah. And ladies and gentlemen, I was laughing. Not like because Brother Naija is heartless. No, it was just funny to me because we know that Shaun knows what he's doing. And so I was wondering, like, okay, Shaun, you talking about being concerned about people's perception about you, that's laughable because you've never really been bothered about people's perception about you right from the very get-go when you started playing your game, whether it's dirty or clean. You've never really been bothered. So why are you now claiming to be concerned about people's perception about you? I'm going to leave it at that because I really want to hear you people's thoughts about it. All right. Now moving on to Onyeka and Chizoba'S sibling rivalry. I call this one also a very realistic situation because a lot of us have, in one way or the other, experienced sibling rivalry. I have experienced it with my brothers, and we fought a lot. We fought a lot, but I had never found myself in the position as the younger one, to be raising my voice at my older ones. Where I still live at chop, like who give me the audacity? Where can I find such audacity in this life or even the life beyond? It's nowhere to be found. There is no such audacity for me. Some people might have it, but I never did have that type of audacity. What am I trying to say? Yes, the sibling rivalry, but the one we saw between these two sisters, especially this week, guys, it was just, I don't know, it was too deep. It was too deep. And then it made me wonder if there's been a lot more, if there's been a lot more to this rivalry between them from the outside, or could it be that they actually planned it? That, oh, when we come into Big Brother's house, so we need to spice things up. Let's be fighting from time to time, just to give people things to talk about. Because why are we asking all of these questions? Because we know that in Big Brother's house, nothing is impossible. Housemates have got the tendency to amplify things, amplify situations, amplify emotions for the sake of the game, for the sake of the show, to create content, to create talking points, to trend, to create their own highlights. And we know for a fact from previous seasons that housemates would do the most extreme things to create highlights on this show. But then the one between Onyeka and her sister, ladies and gentlemen, it was just too deep. Now, I saw a lot of people commenting that, oh, siblings fight, it is okay. Siblings fight, it is okay. And I'm like, well, if we say siblings fight, then we should equally say that couples fight in relationships and just keep it moving, right? But then it's going to defeat the essence of watching what's it called, the show, and analyzing matters like this that arise. Yeah, it's going to defeat it. But here is what I have seen right from the get-go about Onyeka and Chizoba'S relationship as siblings, as sisters. Number one, I still doubt that Chizoba is older than Onyeka. Maybe their birth certificate will prove it to me. And I am not asking for their birth certificate. I mean, who am I in the grand scheme of things anyways? I'm not asking. I'm just saying that I find it so difficult to believe that Chizoba is older than Onyeka. And this is because of the heavy dose of disrespect, disregard, rudeness that Onyeka dishes out to her sister. Now, this is not to say that Chizoba is quite innocent. We're going to get to Chizoba's part, but we're dealing with Onyeka's part now. The disrespect is a lot. Hence the reason why I don't know if I should take it serious or if I should just look at it as a game, a strategy that he came to the house with. But taking it at face value for what it is that they're actually dishing out on the show, The disrespect is a lot. The disregard for her sister's feelings, her sister's ideas, her sister's opinion, it's a lot. The flippancy with which she addresses matters concerning her sister, it's a lot. And from their most recent argument, some of the things I heard were quite disappointing. It was very glaring that Onyeka took the Mbadiwe twins' side over her sister's side. Now, we're not saying that she should cover up for her sister's excesses, no. But with regards to the conversation about the chores, guys, it was quite shocking hearing Onyeka's complaints, her expressing her disappointment in Chizoba over the fact that she had given Chizoba so much power to assign chores to everybody in the house, and the sister chose to allow the Mbadiwe twins pick, the remnant of the chores, which is the toilet and the bathroom chores. Onyeka was literally lashing out at Chizoba in the head of house condo. And one of her talking points was, she gave Chizoba so much power. What Chizoba would have done was she should have walked up to the Mbadiwe twins and asked them, what kind of chores would you like to do this week? Let them be the ones to choose that, they would like to do this, they would like to do that. And then after they have chosen the best of the bunch, then the remnants, whatever is left of the chores, then Chizoba could now assign it to the other housemates. And it made me wonder that who are the Mbadiwe twins in that house? Who are the Mbadiwe twins to Chizoba Onyeka? I mean, we understand the friendship part, right? We understand that they claim to be besties, they claim to be family. But how deep does this relationship run? Why did Onyeka take it so personal? Why was she so offended that the Mbadiwe twins ended up picking the toilet and the bathroom chores from a balloting system that Chizoba actually created? And by the way, it wasn't even Chizoba's fault, if you think about it, because all she did was emulate the system that the Shatoria pair had actually used the previous week. What did they do? They had torn pieces of paper, they had written different chores on those paper, put it in a container, and then they had called housemates to pick, and anything you pick, that is what you do for the week. And according to Chizoba, she had given to everybody to pick. It just happens that the Mbadiwe twins were the last people to pick from the balloting system. And then Onyeka was still upset that, why did she allow them to be the last people to pick? Like, at that point in time, it just felt like, girl, do you realize what you're doing? You are throwing your sister under the bus, all because of a so-called friendship or relationship or whatever it is you have going on with the Mbadiwe twins. Is it that you value that friendship more with those people than the feelings of your sister? And then she claimed that ever since she became head of house, the sister did not want to contribute to tasks. The sister is not assisting her. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is quite contrary to what I was watching all this week, and rather all this while. Oh, and the sister was complaining about the little role that Onyeka gave to her. It was yesterday during their wager task presentation. I really understood why Chizoba was really offended by that role and wanted something more. Because if you think about it, Chizoba had a point at the end of the day. Onyeka gave herself the role of the queen. She gave the Mbadiwe twins the title of the main characters of the show. That is their wager tax presentation. Now, she gave them the main characters, and I'm not complaining about it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not complaining because it completely suits the storyline. And I give them kudos for all of that work, right? But then if you think about it, what was what's her name? Chizoba's role? The seer. The seer did not really have much to say. The seer did not even have much significance. If you think about it, if you're going to properly analyze their story, the seer did not really have much significance. And that was what Chizoba was fighting against. She wanted a more pronounced role that would have made her stand out. And so there's the question of, why did Onyeka give her sister that very minute role, that almost insignificant role? In fact, the way the sister's character even died in the role, it was so freaking abrupt. It felt so realistic to me, because it's like, you peasant, you little insect, die, get out of my way, get out of my way for me to shine. It felt surreal. You know? Yeah. Fee's plate. The seer was very irrelevant in the whole storyline. The seer was just like one fly that had to come and deliver a message and disappear with all of that annoying cough. Cough, cough, cough. The thing that was louder than what the seer said in that their presentation was the cough. The seer coughed till the seer left the stage. That was the thing that was louder than the lines that the seer read on that stage, if we're being honest with ourselves. You know, between these two sisters, we see an attention seeker and an attention grabber. I'll leave that to you to analyze, because if I begin to analyze that now, people are going to say, oh, glory, this, that, that, that. I'm not interested to do any of those things today. But I'm just going to tell you that what I see an attention seeker and an attention grabber. I put out a video last night and I did a bit of psychoanalysis on Chizoba'S character. And I mentioned that within her, it seems, now this is an unprofessional, analysis of Chizoba as a character on the Big Brother show. I'm not saying my analysis of her is real, 100%. No, I'm just saying that I'm watching the show and this is what I can deduce from this person's personality, this person's behavioral pattern. All right. So what did I say I see? I see someone that, and it could go two ways. So one, someone that is screaming out loud for attention, and she's not really getting the attention. Why? Because she's got a sister that is louder, that is more vocal, that is more assertive, and in a way, a tad bit aggressive when she wants something. She goes all out to get it. And when I say aggressive, I'm not talking about violently aggressive. No, I'm talking about someone that is overly passionate to the point of, they can aggressively go all out to get whatever they want to get. It's a do or die affair for them. Whilst Chizoba, on the other hand, comes off as someone that has never really gotten that attention that she needs, especially in her formative years. That child that has suffered neglect from the parents, from the family. Why? Because there's another child that is more needy. And so the child that is more vocal, that one is an attention grabber. Because that one will not wait for you to give that one and give them attention. They will go and grab their attention. They'll go and take their attention by fire, by force. We saw how Onyeka displayed that right from the very first day of the season. And then Chizoba, on the other hand, is the attention seeker. The only difference is that she does not know how to behave like her sister or act like her sister to get that attention she needs. And so when she gets that little attention from anybody, she wants to soak herself in it to the fullest, even though it means, playing the dirtiest games to get it. And by dirty games, what do I mean? Where there is no issue, you will bring up an issue. Where you feel like they're not treating you right, you wallow in that misery, you enjoy sadness, you derive pleasure in sadness. Why? Because you know that when you are constantly sad, you get more attention. But when you are happy, you might not really get a lot of attention. And we see that happen time and time again with Ben and OC. Every time Chizoba is sad, anytime Chizoba is angry, that is when she gets the most attention from Ben. Because Ben is always going to be checking up on her. Oh, how are you? How are you doing? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And she will drag and drag. And Ben too, that one too is talented in dragging conversations. They would both drag and drag and drag. Oh, and it seems like that is where she gets all the attention that she needs in the world. So when you watch her behave like that, it's like there's someone scared of letting go of that attention. And so she would rather prolong that situation that they have, just so that the attention keeps coming. So the attention grabber, the attention seeker, we've got that going on. And then there is also a situation of the accepted and the neglected. Onyeka gives off the air of the one that is the accepted. She's used to acceptance everywhere she goes because she's got that personality. She's used to being the one that people wants to be friends with. She's used to being the one that easily makes friends with people. So she's easily accepted. She is the accepted in most social circles. She's most of the time the accepted. Chizoba, on the other hand, is most of the time the neglected. Why? Because she does not necessarily stand out physically and otherwise. The only time she tends to stand out is when her mental prowess comes into play. The only time she commands respect, the only time she stands out, the only time she draws attention is when there is an intellectual conversation going on and she has to open her mouth and make contributions. That is when people are shocked and they're looking at her like, oh my God, I did not know that a nerd like you could actually reason like that. So you see the struggle between these two sisters. It's like an existential struggle. It's like a struggle for the one that wants to shine the most and the one that does not want to shrink, but ends up shrinking all the time. And then the one that shrinks all the time, if there's any little opportunity for that one to even shine, the one that is used to shining tends to want to truncate the other one so as for that one not to shine. Once again, I'm going to remind all of us that I'm just analyzing what I have been observing from these two sisters. Now, another thing I noticed this week, I did not mention it on my video, but I'm going to mention it because this is very vital. From the beginning of this season, Chizoba became friends faster with the Mbadiwe twins than Onyeka. Okay? Chizoba was first friends with OC before Onyeka became friends first with Ozzy. Now, OC and Chizoba, they had this beautiful thing going on. And that was why I told you guys that they do not have boundaries. OC did not create boundaries. Chizoba rode on that attention. Remember, she's the attention seeker. She's the neglected. And so, probably for the first time in a long time, or probably for the first time in all her life, she meets someone that is there to give her that attention. She meets someone that does not mind her touchiness, that does not mind how tactile she is. You know, those type of people that when they are having conversations with people, they are very touchy, they touch, they touch, they touch. OC did not mind all of that. He allowed her to thrive. He allowed her to be herself around him. And so she thrived in that. She bloomed in that friendship. She bloomed in there. She enjoyed, like you could, every time Chizoba was with OC, you could see how relaxed she was. She had peace of mind. She was happy. And OC fed her with attention, with care, attention again and again and again. Now, that was going on whilst Onyeka was busy going around the house, getting into people's businesses, but also keeping Ozzy on the side. But then this week, there was a switch up, there was a change, there was a shift in the balance of all of their relationships. What happened? Onyeka took over. Onyeka became the center of attention between the Mbadiwe twins. And in a way, if you look deeply at how that whole thing happened, it looked like Onyeka subtly removed Chizoba from the equation. How did she do that? When her sister was lashed out at by Ozzy on Monday night when they were deliberating on their wager task presentation, Onyeka did not interfere. She did not have any conversations with Ozzy about it. Like for her, well, whatever, they will trash out their issue by themselves. But on the flip side, last week, when Ozzy and Onyeka, they were at loggerheads with each other when they had their issue, from time to time, you will see Chizoba bringing up the conversation, you know, just subtly. She wasn't really trying to impose anything, but sometimes you see her bringing up the conversation with, you know, OC. But Onyeka, on the other hand, this week, when Chizoba had issues with OC, and at some point, Onyeka did not necessarily do much to salvage the situation. It seemed like she was now enjoying the equal attention she was getting from the Mbadiwe twins. Yes, the Mbadiwe twins, they were assisting her with the wager task. According to them, oh, it's Onyeka's birthday week, and so they are going to assist her in, ensuring that things ran smoothly and everything went well. But Chizoba, or rather Onyeka, was aware that there was a situation between Chizoba and OC, and she wasn't really bothered. And then in her argument, her disagreement with her sister in the head of house condo, she was blaming her sister for having issues with the Mbadiwe twins in the week that she's head of house. In other words, she was invalidating Chizoba's feelings. And Chizoba had her reasons why she and Ozzy had a fallout. She felt like Ozzy was shutting her up when she was trying to contribute to the ideation process of their task. So Onyeka gave off the air of she wanted the Mbadiwe twins all to herself. She was enjoying the attention as the attention grabber. It was like, oh, finally, success. I've got their eyes on me. I've got their attention all on me. We saw how that whole thing played out during the pool party on Thursday. It was like, nah, 4 is a crowd, 3 is fine. I want to be the queen bee between these people. Their wager task presentation, that play they put out, it was very significant. Oh, if I begin to dig deep into the significance of that wager task presentation, a lot of people are going to say, Glory, you are overreaching, you are overstretching. So let me not even go into it. But let's focus on the very surface ones. So what am I saying? The sibling rivalry between these two sisters is really deep. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is how they've always been right from when they were kids. I don't know these people from Adam, so I don't know. I'm only speaking based on what I have watched them display on TV. So the question now is this one a strategy for both of them? Daisy James is saying, Glory, overreach, please. I beg, go. Let me know overreach. What they will say. I'm not going to overreach. I beg. I'm not going to overreach. But we have a valid question here. Is this all a strategy? Or is this real? Are these people really at loggerheads over 2 guys that they met in the house? Okay, fine. Yes, they've been hearing about the Mbadiwe twins, they've been hearing about the Mbadiwe boys, and then they finally met the boys in the house. And oh my God, from their reaction from the very first night of the launch show, where the housemates gathered in the garden and had their introduction, you could tell that the Chigbo sisters were shocked to meet the Mbadiwe boys in the house. And you could tell that for them, it was eyes on the prize. Take it or leave it. Fine, you'll be all right. So the question is this for real? The breasty situation mingled with sibling rivalry, a very intense one at that. What are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? I want to hear from all of you. And let me remind us all again that these are just my honest observation about these sisters, Shaun and Wanni's relationship as well. No malicious thoughts attached. If you think it's malicious, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you. But just my honest observations about what they are displaying on TV. If you see otherwise, or if you have your own analysis to give, I would love to hear your thoughts, all right? And this is the part where I'm going to stop talking right now, yeah? I'm going to go ahead and share the link to this conversation in the comment section below. For those of you that are on YouTube, you know the drill. Please go ahead, click the link in the comment section and come share your thoughts. For those of you on Twitter, you know the drill. Send in your request. I bring you on the stage so you can share your opinion. And another regular disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen. Over here, we appreciate people's contribution. We appreciate people's opinion. We appreciate people's diversity here. because we understand that diversity is beautiful in this community. So when somebody has a different perspective from you, when somebody's opinion differs from yours, please do not attack the person. Attack the conversation. And how do you attack the conversation? You attack the conversation by sharing your own opinion intelligently, politely, and add demure. Add demure to it. Be mindful, be demure with it. All right. Do not attack people sharing their opinion. That's just the message. Okay. So that everybody can enjoy the conversation maturely. Okay. All right. We're going to begin. There is Peter Lee on Twitter. Peter Lee is the first person that indicated to speak. So let's speak with him. Hello, Peter. Hello, Peter Lee. Peter Lee, you have to unmute your mic so we can hear you. Are you there? Okay. Peter Lee is not ready to speak, so we're going to come back to. Oh, hello. Okay, we're going to come back to YouTube now. We're going to speak with Jay Fansworth, and then we'll move on to P. Hello, Jay.
Hey Glory, how are you today?
I am good. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
yeah. Thank you for having
Okay,
me.
let's hear from you.
Ah, Glory, you and your girls are back at it, messing with my boys. You know your girls, eh? What they did last night. Anyway, let's go to the
My dear.
to the order of the day. So
Mm,
I think I'll only speak about the Sean and Wanni issue. The other one I think will be talked about by the other people. So this one,
mm,
I really want to talk about it at length because um, for some reason I kind of felt triggered this week. I was
mm,
so disturbed by that relationship because
mm.
it's not just us watching it on TV, but I've also seen it, work out in real life, happening in real life with close people, like both family and friends. And I was so
Mm,
disturbed. And what really bothered me so much is, what transpired uh, in the diary room, especially with
yes,
Sean, with Sean.
yes.
Okay, first of all, I
Mm,
know it's a game. When you get into the game, there are people that you get close with. It's not until probably in the final stage when you feel like, here it's a do or die affair. You know what? We are now competing. But from the start,
yes,
these people established a relationship, a solid relationship. I'm talking about the Shatoria and the Wani ex Handy. Like these are the people who have your
yes,
back. But then with how
yes.
Sean has been carrying himself, and I sort of even had him, have a discussion with one of the boys that time when he was having issues with Wani, telling them how he wasn't happy with how the girls carried themselves when they were attacking Ruthie that night, when they were calling out
Mm,
her name, Ruthie, and I was like, but then you are the very person who was supporting them, and now here
mm-hmm,
because you're having a problem currently with your girlfriend, you're turning your back against her.
mm-hmm.
I felt like, really, dude. Then I want to talk about I think the psychologists in the room may talk about this at length, but the there's such a thing as attachment styles in relationships. I don't know if you know that.
Yes,
Yeah, they are the secure people in relationships, then they are the insecure ones. Now, secure
yes,
ones, whenever there is a problem in a relationship, they have the maturity, they are stable, and they kind of seek for help on how to handle a problem. They
yes,
are usually whenever their relationship is threatened. And for the insecure ones, there are different types under the insecure ones. You'll find that there are those who are anxious, or ambivalent. Those are the ones who tend to be needy or clingy in a relationship. And then you'll
mm-hmm,
find that there are also those who are, they're called avoidant,
mm-hmm,
dismissive ones. Those ones,
mm-hmm.
I think a person who gives off that kind of
Hello, Jay.
you'll tend to see that Victoria, when she has issues, she'll tend to keep to herself. She'll, you know,
Mhm.
get herself out of that matter and tend to, you know. So they don't usually don't wear their emotions on their sleeves. So you can't really tell what's going on with such people. They are the kind
Mhm.
that withdraw when there is a problem in a relationship. So and then there are also others. But why I was a bit mad at Sean, and honestly, I can't wait for him to be, sent to us.
Mhm. Hello, Jay. We're losing you. Are you there, Jay? Hello, Jay. Oh my God, I don't even know what's happening. Jay, we've lost you. Can you hear me, Jay? Okay. So as not to waste time, I think what we're going to do is we're going to. Oh, we've lost him. We're going to move on to someone else. What's happening? All right. We're going to move on to someone else, and then when Jay comes back, we'll bring him on. Let's move on to P. Hello, P. Are you there?
Hi, Glory.
Hi,
How you
pretty
doing?
woman.
Oh my God, Glory, no.
Ew, you look so stunning.
Thank you, Glory. No, oh my gosh, I'm so.
Giving off old money vibes, demure, mindful.
I'm here closing my eyes. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Guys, P finally sent me a picture and I was obsessed. You look so beautiful. And thanks for
Thank you,
sharing.
Glory. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm
Nice.
so shy.
Don't be. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
So to answer your questions, yeah. So about Wanni and Shaun, ain't it
Hmm.
funny how Shaun can literally bend into almost half while arguing with Wani and Handy. However, he can't bend to kiss Wani most times.
What?
Wani
Nah,
has
that
to
that was
struggle to
horrible.
get her lips to his lips. Ha
Hmm.
ha. Wow. I could not believe
Hmm.
my eyes. I'm like, what is he doing? You know the
Hmm.
when what's it called? When Wani referred to his when he appeared on the blue therapy. I'd not seen
Yes.
it because the first one was horrible. People came out to say they were just acting, so I didn't even bother. So because Wani
Hmm.
mentioned it, I went to go and watch it. It was almost the same thing. Like
Yeah.
when the girl said what she said, the way he was reacting. And I'm like, you're in
I
front
saw
of a
it.
therapist. What do you think you're gonna do, Shaun? Can you please sit down? What do you think you're gonna do?
My God.
So
I
yeah.
saw the
So
clip. Oh my God.
yeah, I had to watch it. It was horrible. It was like a repeat of the last one that they did. I was doing
Yes.
other things. I just listened to it as if it was a podcast. That's what I did. It was horrible. But I only did that
Sure.
because I wanted to see what Shaun was like. So yeah.
Hmm.
Then for Wani, maybe Wani is holding on to the relationship for her dear life because she's trying to do all she can to keep her body count low. That's just my
Hmm.
opinion. Because if she leaves him, yeah, because if she
Oh
leaves
my
him, that's
God.
another body she has to count. She jumped into
True.
sleeping with him very quickly and now she feels like she's stuck. Wani keeps
Yeah.
saying Sean can yell and act badly when it's the two of them. And I keep wondering, why do some people do that? Even when
Yeah.
the
What's a big
Williams, the
deal
talk
in private?
yeah, even when the Williams, the talk show host, okay, let me use myself as an example before I use two other people that are kind of like celebrities. I was dating this guy and I used to say shut up a lot. I don't care who you are, my boss, everybody shut up. If you say what I don't like, I'll tell you shut up. I don't do that anymore. Yeah, I used to
Hmm.
say shut up. So,
Thank
and
God.
then I used to say shut up to him as well. And then I was like, I hope you don't mind because I couldn't stop it then. And he was like,
Hmm.
don't worry, as long as you don't do it outside, it's just inside. In my mind, are you okay? Why would you say that? So with Wendy Williams, she didn't leave her husband until the news and pictures came out that her husband and his side chick, and the side chick was pregnant before she left and divorced him. Well, we
Hmm.
live in a society where it doesn't matter what a woman accomplishes in her life. she could find a cure for AIDS, world hunger, and even cancer, and it still wouldn't matter unless she was able to bag herself a husband and put out some babies. So the pressure
Hmm.
in Nigeria to get married is massive. So, and how you're perceived is so important. So in a way, I don't
Mhm.
really blame Wanni for um doing all she can to like save the relationship, but she has to save herself anyway. So
Mhm.
that's how I feel. So even Onyeka Onwenu even said the same thing. She was like, oh, she told her husband that as long as you, whatever you're doing, as long as it's in private, there's no issue. But when it's in
Hmm.
public, don't do it. But he finally did it in public. And she said she knew that he did it in public because she he knew that she was gonna leave him after he's
Hmm.
done that. And that's the only time, and that was when she left him. And I'm like,
Hmm.
wow, even people like her.
Hmm.
So yeah. Then I'm gonna move on to Chizoba and Onyeka. Like you said, I'm not sure who's older, like who, in a way. My older sister used to say, even if I was not disrespectful, but whenever I say anything that she didn't like, she'd be like, don't you have a picture of an elder in your house? Even though we lived in the same house. She would say, I'll throw you out of the window. Even though I'm not being disrespectful, I would throw you out of the window and we'll just laugh
Hmm.
about it. So I'm not sure who's older. So some people no longer have respect for anybody, let alone
Yeah.
elders. So I'm not surprised at Onyeka's reaction towards Chizoba. So for me, Big Brother's house is a leveler. So the Imbadiwe
Hmm.
twins aren't exempt from toilet chores. If they use it, then they can also clean it. It may
Mhm.
or may not be a strategy, in my opinion, since Oyeka said she does not come from much. When she
Hmm.
To me, I just feel like when she saw the Mbadiwe twins, she must have seen naira, pounds, and dollar
Hmm.
signs. And maybe add euro as well. So about Ozzy and Onyeka, Onyeka said to Ozzy that he was scared of love when somebody is showing um
Hmm.
you love, you say the
Hmm.
person is being cute and manipulative. On Tuesday, when I saw Onyeka use her head to hit Ozzy's penis, I knew and felt that these Imbadiwe twins, especially Ozzy, do not have partners outside the house.
Hmm.
And you also said it on Friday. I was like, yes, yes,
Mhm.
you're saying it as well. I was like, yeah. So to
Yeah,
me,
I've
they are
seen
adults.
how the
Sorry?
PDAs had increased this week.
Yeah,
Oh my
it even
God.
became worse.
Hmm.
So to me, they are adults and they can do whatever they want. That's all I
Mhm.
have to say.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, P. Thank you so much. And I really love your last statement. They are adults, they can do whatever they want to do. But all of these, mental manipulation, trying to manipulate the viewers, that's the part that is just funny to me because is it that they don't realize that we're actually watching, that we can
Mm,
see what they are
mm,
doing? Do they think we
mm,
are blind? Those are
mm.
questions I keep asking. And the sad thing is, when the show is over and these people go out for their media rounds, the
Yeah.
way they are defending themselves inside the house is going to be worse outside because they
Mm,
will begin to tell lies, they'll begin to give act selective amnesia, and the interviewers will not probe with their questions. So
yeah.
yeah, thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
you're
P.
right. Thank you, Glory. Take care. Bye.
All right, bye. Thank you. All right, let's speak with Shirley. Hello, Shirley.
Hi, what's going on?
I'm good. You're welcome. Is this my Shirley?
The only one.
Oh, Shirley, where have you been?
I have been in Nigeria,
Oh
going
my
into Nigeria
God.
struggles.
Wow. I am happy to hear your voice. It's been a while. Uh-uh.
It's my pleasure.
Wow. You're
Big Brother
welcome
has
back.
been
We missed
stressing me,
you.
so I've decided to reduce my stress.
I can imagine. You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay.
well, let's get right to it. Right, first of all, it's
Yes.
good to be here. It's always fun engaging in these conversations. It always
You're
tickles
welcome.
me. I get to laugh. I get to read the comments. I get to listen to people's opinions, and it's interesting. Getting a lot of perspectives. It kind of
Yeah.
broadens your horizon on how you see things. So
Yeah.
I think the conversation today is about Wanni and Shaun, and then Onyeka
Onyeka.
and
Yeah.
Chizoba. Okay, so Wanni and Shaun. Personally, I usually have little nothing to say about romantic ships because most of the time I just feel like it's like pouring water on stone. It's just a waste of my time somehow.
Yeah,
Because they will
I
stress
can
you out if you're
imagine.
so invested in it. For you, you're
Mm-hmm.
kind of, you don't have a choice. You analyze the show, so you just have to. But for me, I can escape it. So I think I would just avoid those guys. But I think from what I see, in a peripheral perspective, is that Shaun, it just looks like Shaun is holding on to Wanni, you know, because he feels it will keep him longer in the game.
Hmm.
If you look at the trend of the shows over time, Big Brother Naija shows, even if the man doesn't, even if that person doesn't win, if they were in the ship, if they were in a ship, it keeps them, even if it's till the ninth week,
Hmm.
and even if they don't win the show, they get to be the it guy of the season. We've
Hmm.
had a couple of
Hmm.
them over time, and most of the time when the ladies come out, the ladies tend to almost overshine the men, I mean, in the real
True.
world. So it's just very few of the guys, just like two, three. They won't even be up to five of them that will make it to the limelight like afterwards. So it's probably the ones that stay till the final week or the ninth week. So
Mm-hmm.
what I see Shaun doing is just him trying to play the long game. Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I'm sure he would want to win, but I am so sure that the ship was strategic from day one. It was definitely strategic. It was not it didn't flow. At least I watched the show for a couple of days in the beginning, and it wasn't looking like the guy was feeling the whole thing, but I feel like he just played along with it. And it's possible that when you hang around with someone, you get to develop some fondness for them. I can't say I'm not inside
Mm.
Sean's mind, but from the onset, looking at the whole thing and even the way things are playing out, you can tell that Shaun is just being strategic in this relationship. So whatever they
True.
are doing, I just look at it as him just creating content in the way he knows how, and doing whatever
Yeah.
he feels would keep him longer in the game. Whether just a
Mm.
little bit of spice, a little bit of toxic, a little bit of, he knows how the Big Brother Niger fans can be. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
let it be that. Then for the
Mm-hmm.
checkers, or Onyeka and Chizoba, since they're no longer a pair, you know, when I watched a little bit, because I didn't watch the whole of it, but I watched a little bit of their arguments, I was just imagining that if to say that my sister, my younger, I feel don't slap her. I just want, because that dynamic, I was going crazy. I was like, why? When Chizoba'S was crying, I was like, Auntie, why are you crying? I don't know, because in fact, the moment she started crying, I just gave up. I was like, you know what, I'm done. I turned, I was like, nah, I'm not doing, because I was 110% pissed. The
Mm-hmm.
disrespect, there's a way you would converse with someone that you can still pass your message while being respectful. I don't know why people find that so
Exactly.
difficult to do. Generally, right, in this new age of be yourself, where self-centeredness and narcissism is encouraged and even praised. I'm talking about like generally in the real world, right? Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
me, 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 me. It's all about me. There's just this general mania and craze to show who can be the most inconsiderate person in the room. The
True.
golden rule of treat people how you treat yourself. People have trashed that rule, matched it, crushed it, made it disappear into thin air. People don't have
Mm-hmm.
consideration for people, let alone your
Mm-hmm.
own sister. So when you're
Mm-hmm.
there in the room, it's showing that Onyeka does not mind Chizoba getting kicked out if that is going to guarantee her win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it
Mm-hmm.
played out after they were separated. Yes, all the whole emotionalism and all the displays, but it's not by just that. Okay, what actions have you seen? Onyeka reveled in this week. She was even, taking on that title that Biggie gave them during their wager, the triple O. I saw her throwing the words around in the house,
Yeah.
yesterday, even
Yeah.
today, triple O, triple O. So she's really, really trying to make she and the Mbadiwe twins a thing and push
Yes.
Chizoba as far away as possible, because it's like Chizoba is
Yeah.
competing for that attention. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'm happy with that dynamic. And like we'd always say, Chizoba is not innocent in the whole thing. It's just that I
Mm-hmm.
think when you have something that looks graver, we tend to be more focused on the graver actions, which in this particular scenario are Onyeka's. But Chizoba, on the other hand, is a full rumble of emotional mess. She's not able to articulate herself properly, understand her emotions and communicate her emotions properly and promptly. Like there are things that you need to nip in the bud the moment it happens. There are things you don't need to keep until the future before you address them. There are things you need to address. There are things you need to wait till people are calmer before you address. She does not have that emotional intelligence to analyze it and know when to speak and when not to speak. It's not all the time you be quiet. You want to look. No, if you're that means you're playing the victim card and you're not better than the person who is playing the villain card. Both of you are playing cards, right? So both of you are gamers in your own way. And then, well, last but not the least thing I actually wanted to speak about, even though it doesn't seem to be the focus in this particular conversation, is just, we've been talking about it over the past couple of weeks, is how generally boring the show seems to be, right? And in fact, I think this is my worst. I've been watching Big Brother from Big Brother Africa. On again, off again. There's some seasons I would miss out. There's some seasons I'll come back in and stuff like that. So I've been watching Big Brother on again, off again, just a few. But even in the past recent years, I think I've been following up with almost every season. Probably in Zamzi that I've probably not followed up with because it's out of reach and it's not that deep for me to go and run and look for it. But I've been following up with these shows, and I think I know the reason why this season is boring. And I would say one of the reasons is this, right? If we look at the trend of things that have been happening, so many persons that have come into the show, let's even look at the most recent sets. Let's just go back a year or 2 years ago, right? The most recent set. We see so many of them, including the winners, come out and get dragged. We see so many of them come out and it looks like they're not winning outside. So these people in this season now, they have all the past questions you need from both the playing the game inside the house and what happens outside the house. So they are walking on eggshells. Nobody wants to be tagged a certain type of way, right? The twins, for instance, the girl twins, for instance, remember that in the first week or thereabouts, I remember one of the times when I was just watching, how you just turn on the show and you're just watching and passing time. And I remember Wanni saying that, I don't want anybody to tag me as Razu. I don't want anybody to tag me as Raz. Before I will come out, they'll call me Raz. After all, that know what happened in one of the seasons. The person that was disqualified is even succeeding more than the person that won because she was tagged at Raz. She said something like that. And I just smiled. And that was already a telltale because it shows that they're going to be curtailing the way they behave. The authenticity of the entire show, which is supposed to be the point, was already threatened. And obviously, it has been lost. Because looking at the way the game started and the way Biggie set things, in as much as the viewers voted and it is from the bottom four, the fact that the ultimate veto is in the hands of the housemates, it's made them so cautious around each other. So you see that the so-called the personalities that would have given us something to talk about and who knows would have even grown on users, we're not even given that chance. Dami was like number one from the first day they went in. Dami was already creating content in her own way, creating talks. I remember OC was in the lounge. I remember watching that evening, and Dami was a whole personality. But just that little whatever her partner told her to project, she now started walking on eggshells to see whether that would make the housemates like her. But they've already written her off. And Dami seemed like this very hot-headed, these kind of people that are mixture of sweet and sour, right? So she can bring on the fire, she can bring on the love, whichever one. She looked like so much potential, but unfortunately she was kicked out of the show from the first week. And then in the second week we had Ndi Nne. I didn't really miss them so much, let's be honest. They were fun, they were nice people, but not really much happening there per se. And then we had Ruthie and Flourish and Flo, DJ Flo, and Toby that was pursuing Cassia. Imagine kicking out Ruthie, that and we know that was strictly, yes, we understand that the viewers were the ones that voted and it was the bottom four that was used. But there's just the dynamics was sort of messed around with. If they had left things to, the normal way of housemates voting, nominating people, it gives it gives something to chance. It allows chance that even though this person may not have much fans, the person can stay and see how that plays out. But the whole thing just messed everything up. So I think that is one of the reasons why. Just the experiences, the things that people have seen on the outside. Nobody wants to be tagged a certain type of way. So everybody just wants to be the classy, cool, calm, collected, brandable, advertisable, marketable person for when they come out, because only one person can actually win the money. So even if I don't win, what can I win when I come out? So I think that's one of the reasons why. And then what is that part? Has the sparrow spoken this week or did I miss it? What's going
Don't
on?
worry, the parrot will soon talk. But I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to ask you a question. So, I mean, I totally agree with the last thing you said about everybody wanting to be marketable. Yes, and I've been doing my own background checks on most of these housemates, having listened to their conversations from day one and having checked where they are coming from. And by where they are coming from, I do not mean their village. I'm talking about their circle, their social life on the outside. And I discovered that almost all of them are connected to ex housemates in one way or the other. There are videos of them online. Nelly is connected to Michky. Suj and Tofa, they're already in the entertainment industry in a way. Suj hangs out with certain personalities. Tofa is also leg in there. I mean, by the way, twins with Messi, Ike. You see how they are all connected. And to marry alongside what you said, they've obviously received lectures from these people about life inside the house and life outside the house. And I'm sure production is aware of this. But then this is nothing new. This is something that happens every season, right? But then here's the question. Do you think the case would be different? Oh, yes, thank you. Shaun and Shegs, the auditions together. Shegs got accepted for Level Up. So it's not like there is a list, like a waiting list. You people, you come, you participate this season, you participate in next 2 years or next year. It's like there's a wait list. Nengi, the same thing. Nengi auditioned with Mercy Eke, but she wasn't taken in for Pepper Gang season. But then for lockdown season, she made it on the list. Licorose, according to her story, she was about to be called on stage, but then she wasn't called on stage. Well, what season was that? I think it was it Pepper Them Gang season? Was it lockdown? But then she was taken in for Shine Your Eye season. So if you listen to their stories, some of them they try to embellish their stories to make it look like, oh, the streets made a queen. I'm coming from the trenches, but they are not coming from the trenches. The Wanni X Handy pair, there was a video I saw of both of them at an event in Unilag. There was it Suma? And then Fina was there. And I mean, when you look at all of these things, their social circle, the people they hang around with, how they do things, you will see that there's some sort of rub off of personalities from previous housemates, onto them. So the kind of games they play now, looking at the kind of games they play now, there's some sort of similarity. Onyeka, in a way, is playing Amaka's game, but in an elevated way. That one is very glaring, right? So all of these things, look at all of these things, and people have brought in the conversation of the custodian, the ultimate veto power given to the custodian as an excuse. But personally, I feel like that is just an excuse because how many weeks has it been now? The veto power is off, custodian power is off, head of house does not even have veto power anymore. One would think and even expect that at this point in time, the housemates should unleash, right? They should unleash because at this point in time, it is now glaring that no housemate has the power to evict anybody. The sole power for eviction now lies in the hands of the voting public. So one would expect that they unleash, but guess what? They are still as tepid and lukewarm as it comes. So the question now is, Do you think the case would have been different if production had done their due diligence by going out of their way, out of their usual routine, which is bringing people that already know people, by picking random individuals from anywhere else other than this circle of Bbnaija people? Do you think it would have been different?
Well, I understand the idea of, that circle thing. It is not news. I think there will just probably be, maybe say, out of 20 something house, maybe there will just be a few wild cards there, such as, I mean, people that may not, let's just give that, let's not make it 100%. You understand? Maybe just like out of that 100%, 99% may be connected, then just the 1% may not be connected. So there would always be those set of persons that are not connected. However, even if they go by that, that is, they make it more random. I'm not so certain that it would have really changed much going by the way things happened this season. Because when I look at the people in that house, right, even without being connected to the housemates directly, those of us here in the public, we even know more about the show in a way than some other persons who may or may not be connected to the housemates. If you know about the show, you know about the show. If you know about the trends, Bbnaija culture, Bbnaija drama, you know about it, regardless of whether or not you're connected to the show. The connecting to the housemates, you connecting to the housemates may have gained them entrance into the show, but their actions are things that they have decided within themselves. So looking at the set of persons that are in that house, I see different, a billion and one personalities and a billion and one tendencies. Cassia was in the diary room a couple of days ago. She has an issue with Wanni, and she has not spoken. I don't think she has spoken till now, except I missed it. She has not spoken about it. She said Wanni is, and it is true. And it's the same thing that Ruthie said, and they said Ruthie has, well, whatever, because they tend to hoard food for themselves and their boyfriend and things like that. So I'm just saying that generally, this set of housemates, it's not as if they don't have that tendency to go off if they want to. There is a mixture of personalities. Anybody can get upset by anything. Yes, there are people that may approach it from a different way, but drama is drama, right? You must not be shouting and screaming and tearing hairs apart for it to be drama. Drama is drama. So one way or the other, these persons would have still been able to bring on the drama if they allowed themselves to be their authentic selves. You understand? Or to react at things the way they would ordinarily react in the real world. But they are not doing that. They are holding back reactions. So I don't think it is a matter of them being connected. I just think it's a matter of the trends on the Bbnaija streets. I've been watching it, somehow change over time. The most authentic show I've ever watched, I didn't watch the Sigo Bay so much, but I watched Double Wala. Double Wahala was like, it will take your emotions up, throw it down, smack it to the floor, left, right. Double Wahala was, if anybody will ask me, the best Big Brother Naija season, because these guys were just, you will see the person that was burning hot, you see that same person in love, you see that same person laughing, tearing, their bellies are almost tearing. So it doesn't mean that you are going crazy or you're upset at a particular time, does not make your personality. But the media out there made, kind of pushed out a funny narrative about certain things. And so many housemates, even after they came out, the ones that were able to get out of the stigma were able to. The ones that were not able to, the ones that phased out entirely phased out. And so people are looking at, for me, I feel like everybody, even when Chinwe came out, she was having her conversations. You see her, saying, give me a chance, this one, that one, that one. She wants to be marketable. She wants to be out there. She wants to succeed outside of the show. So to tell you that this is something that all of them have in the back of their mind, I just feel that that is what is happening. Generally, the Big Brother Naija world is a lot. So if you come out of the house and you see something happening, you say, okay, when I go in there, I'm not going to do this. Then now, a couple of seasons later, there's now 10 things you're not going to do. Which one are you now going to do? So I just feel like that's what's
All right.
happening with the show.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Shirley. Awesome conversation with you. Awesome conversation. Yeah. We're going to move on to the next speaker right now. But before I move on, two things. One, um, do you think we can strongly create a comparison between the Sigobe season, the Double Wala season, and the now Big Brother Naija show we're watching? That's a question for everybody. Do you think if we create a comparison like that, do you think it's going to be balanced? Question for everybody. All right. That's food for thought as well. So think about it. If you want to comment on it when you come on, you can speak on it. Now, I want to answer Z's question. Z is asking, Glory, what's your take on Kelly Ray's disgusting birthday message to Onyeka? I do not think the message was disgusting. I think that was Kelly Ray reiterating something Onyeka has announced to the whole house on multiple occasions back to her. It is no news that Onyeka has objectified the sexuality of the female and reduced it to a mere snail. It is no news, it is nothing new that Onyeka describes the female sex organ as a snail. It is no news that Onyeka has reduced the entirety of a female in Big Brother's house to be an ordinary snail. So every time Onyeka talks about snail, 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 she also refers to herself as a snail. And she has bragged on multiple occasions about how nobody can eat her snail in the house. In other words, how nobody can actually bed her in the house and whatnot. These are things that she says unashamedly and unapologetically. And so Kelly Ray's birthday message to Onyeka, that was him retelling her and reminding her of the things that she has actually said about herself. So Kelly Ray did nothing wrong. If you, as a female or as an individual, do not put some respect on your name, you do not put some respect on yourself, you do not elevate yourself or carry yourself in a certain light, the people around you, they're going to help you project that thing you want to project about yourself. So Onyeka has projected herself as readily available and vulgar in the most disgusting way, especially when she's talking about the sexuality of a female. So all Kelly Ray did was to help her give more light to that projection. That's my response to that question. So it is not Kelly Ray's fault, whatever he said. It is Onyeka's fault for portraying herself and the other females in the house as a snail. Period. Okay, let's speak with Ndi Nne Yvonne. Hello, Yvonne. Hello, is Yvonne there?
Yvonne is there.
Okay, hi. How are you?
Hello.
You're welcome. How are you?
My time here is morning. So greetings to everyone in the house.
You are welcome.
Before I start, I want to tell you, thank you. Like, you really criticize this season. In fact, jik, like you Nigerians always say it, this season is very boring. Very, very boring. And we thank Ibuka for criticizing them on Sunday, and then they gave us a show on Thursday during the pool party. Moving on to the siblings, I'll begin with Onyeka and Chizoba'S before I go to Shaun and Wanni. What I've noticed is what we always say, firstborns that react like mumu. Because I've gone to do some videos, research also on Onyeka and the sister, their family, and I saw a video where the siblings were doing a challenge, and it's like Chizoba'S is the first. And I would always say some firstborns always react like what in Nigeria say mumu. And I discovered she's an introvert who likely keeps things to herself. She's not expressive, unlike Onyeka. And then coming to their relationship, the way Onyeka spoke to her in the head of house lounge, I was so mad. I come from a family of 6. I'm the first and the only girl. My younger one, she don't dare talk to me. Who do you leave her? You cannot. Even when I'm on the wrong, they take their time to tell me, hey, big sis, what you did is wrong. And I'll sit and say, okay, truly I fucked up. I'm sorry. You don't shout at me. Even if your sister was that bad what she did, not on national TV. And then you go to pick the Mbadiwe twins, you favor them more than your own blood sister. Because when you're trying to bring up ideas for your wager, your sister was trying to give her own point. She was being shut down by Ozzy, which I was happy she was about to throw for herself immediately. I didn't see anything wrong with that. And then you get angry that Why do you allow them to clean the toilet? Hello? Are they evaluate twins, the Prince Charming of the season? If they see themselves like the kings and the prince, they couldn't have come on the show. They use the toilet. They equally bathe. So others should clean for them.
Exactly.
To me, I don't see. I don't find reason for Onyeka lashing out her sister that she made them pick last and giving them the bathroom and the toilet. She simply did what Shatoria and the Shatoria did previously. And to me, that was the best way, the balloting way. You pick your chore, not something I don't draw and then okay, this person will do this. You send your hand in that box. You picked it. So why blame your sister? And then you say your sister has been very supportive of you, which I don't see. She has been very supportive. And then now you go to school and talk about your sister with the Imbajuwe twins. To me, at one moment, even if the Imbajuwe twins are listening to you, I just think at one moment they'll be saying that this girl is talking, like criticizing her own sister. Is this what she does in real life? Because no matter what, even though they're on the show, they may come back and still watch some of these videos and say, wow, if this girl can talk about her sister like this, then what does she do in real life back home? You don't sit and criticize call your sister and talk to your sister. You lash out, and then, like you said, there's attention seeker and attention grabber. At this moment, what happened the whole of last week, the issue of wanting Ozzy and what she's trying to get into the good books of Ozzy, but at the end of the day, it is glaring. She has fallen in love with Ozzy. We cannot hide that. She likes Ozzy madly. If you watched when they were going for the wager presentation, when they were dressing, when Ozzy was sitting in the closet, and then she was rubbing Ozzy's back the way she was doing it. My dear, there was no boundaries there. You are madly in love. And then you Ozzy are letting it. And when they will call you out, you say, I didn't do that. Big brother this year, he selected all housemates who suffer from amnesia, selective amnesia. During the pool party, all the cuddling, they were there, PVAs, they were displaying it. When if Ibuka come and act, Ibuka has gone out of video, that was not what it's meaning. Oh, that is not that. Now, coming to Shaun and Wanni, in fact, if there's a possibility for someone to send their hands in the TV and give a slap for somebody's brain to reset, I will slap Wanni for her brain to reset. She does not know her worth.
Obviously.
You are pretty. You got something going for you. It's not because of the accent. What is that guy giving to you? Nothing. You cook for him, you clean for him, you practically do everything. You respect him, like you worship him. And what does he do? He embarrasses you in front of everybody. And then gets into the diary room. The crocodile tears. I don't know what people are thinking about me outside. I care about her. Like that. Shaun doesn't give an F about Wanni. It's just a game to him. He just wants to be there. Wanni, you went in the diary room. Big brother tried to open your eyes. Your sister has sat you now. If your sister is somebody you always listen to, like you say, I always listen to my sister, we are so close. You would have listened to what Handy was telling you. Handy is seeing everything glaring. Everything Handy told her sister. And then she started like a mumu, still trying to defend the guy. Even after your sister said, forget about this guy, focus on yourself. You went again, you're discussing with Tofa. Please, can you talk to him? What that? What is all that for? Baby has tried to make you understand this. You've always been on the giving side. Why not try to stay now and be on the receiving side? And see if this guy will walk up to you. Because to me, that's typical Shaun. I watched this is a blue therapy stuff. It shows that that is his character. That is who he is. Because he's standing as a pair with Victoria. If you notice, most pairs bonded a lot. They try to take decisions together. But what is Shaun doing? He completely neglected Victoria, and then he's madly working with the twins, like he calls them, as chihuahuas. And then when they get into the room, want to take a decision for nominations, you see that he suppresses Victoria's decision, meaning he's authoritative. To me, he's a narcissistic somebody. They can't change that to me. That's who he is. And then I saw when he tweeted on Twitter, Onyeka fans came there, they were angry, insulting you. My dear Glory, it is your opinion. And what you say, they are giving their own opinion of Onyeka. That is good, shit like that. You have given your opinion. Why are they angry? Why are they coming after you? Like you said, the fanatics. It is your opinion, and you always say it from the beginning of your videos. It is your opinion. And people should give their own opinion in the comment section. Why are you people mad? They fail to understand one thing. You don't support, you don't have a say, you only analyze. And even if you find somebody who is very encouraging, you give them their thumbs up, you appreciate them. And when they mess up within the week, you say they messed up. You dish it out to them. Why? Why do they think you favor people? And that you speak like this, you speak like that. My dear, this is all I have to say, and all I have to tell you is that keep doing it. You're doing very well. Don't give don't give an F about what they are saying. Like the last year during All Stars, there was those who came after you and came up and spoke about your late brother. I was so mad. I was so mad. But I love the courage, your strength you have. Keep doing it, and it doesn't get to you. I just love the way you are. I am a Cameroonian, but I'm based now in the US, so I'll keep coming up.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Thank you so much. Fanatics will always do whatever it takes to defend their faith, whether it's good or bad, whatever. But thank you so much. Okay, we're gonna speak with Risad, and then we're gonna speak with Jay Fansworth, and then we'll move on to Twitter to speak with the people that we have there. Okay, hello, Risad. You're welcome.
Hello, girl. How are you?
I am good. You're welcome. How are you too?
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay.
The lady who spoke, the Cameroonian lady, we are the same, apart from these British borders that created, we should be one people. So,
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So I think I would, the other lady who spoke, extensively, I think she really touched a lot of important aspects of,
Surely.
this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she did. And I would just say that starting from, I'll end with Onyeka and her sister. With this Wanni and Shaun, I feel like, a drama. I felt like a lot of it was, initially, I felt like it was more of a content something from Shaun. I think he's playing a game, like the lady said. I think he's just in the game. But, and I feel like Wanni, hopefully she's also playing a game, because I don't in real life anybody would just accept some of those things. And also, as much as I would feel sorry for her to some extent, but at the same time, in the beginning, you need to see that. I mean, we have to acknowledge the lady was more into the whole thing than the guy from the beginning, because speed. And I'm not judging anybody. Nobody is perfect and all that, but also even in the real world, that's how it is. You don't just throw yourself like that to any guy, no matter the situation, no matter what you're feeling inside, whether you're lonely or whatever. This mistake, I have some ladies around my life, both family and all that. The thing I will always tell the younger ones is that, no matter what, don't believe Hollywood, all this Hollywood movie that they are doing, crush, you go and those are movies. Just understand that in the world, if you want something that will last for you, don't throw yourself to any guy. It's nature. It's a natural process. No matter who will try to make you feel like we have, we are so much advanced that a woman can go and a man. That's movie. But there's a way you carry yourself. There's some standards, and one is you because like you, that is where your future is guaranteed. So apart from, I feel like she should. I feel like Shaun is also playing a game, and I hope Wanni is also playing along. She has a script, and it has worked to some extent. She has a fan base. I wouldn't say the strongest, but I think she has a strong base. So she has played her game the way she knows how to play. So she's doing well. should have gone to some extent. Then Onyeka and her sister, to be honest with you, when I saw some of the disagreement they were having, I felt I was a bit disappointed in Onyeka. But at the same time, I feel like there's a bit more than guys in what is going on with those people. I feel like there was a time they were having a discussion, and Onyeka, I think there was one task that they were doing, and they were talking about how, I think it's Party for Life, something like that, and she was
Mm-hmm.
talking about how, the sister comforted her when she was very down, Chizoba, all that. So you wonder, with your sister that have been for you when their dad and everything. But I also feel like Onyeka might be dealing with she has a very good job in trying to hide it and make it look like she's this very strong personality, but I feel like she's hiding some kind of insecurities inside her. To be honest, I feel like that's just how she knows best to you know to hide it, and being that loud and everywhere. Because if you look at some of the things she said on her, Chizoba would tell the father. I took that point. That Chizoba, like when they ask who did this, she would put it on her, and the father would beat her. I feel like there might be something that we might not know, but it's just unfortunate that it's coming out public. And like what was I think it was your OC tell her, no matter what happens, you don't lose guard on your family in public. I feel like everybody that, and but probably because of these are people that are doing a reality show at some point, and they've been there for some time. So at some point, some of those things will come out. Maybe even if it's intention to to bring it out to the public, but it will just come. You can't really act like they usually say. Some of them, you can't really act for 24 hours. You can't be so conscious of the camera every minute of the day. So at some point, even 30 minutes or 1 hour, you're going to, there's something natural will just come out, and that's what happens sometimes. And I hope that the Chizoba herself, like you put it very well, clearly, kind of, because of the, this one of attention and all that. And Chizoba, I feel like whatever she's doing with, I don't even understand, because you can see clearly that the person that she feels kind of connected on is,
Mm-hmm.
what's the name, OC. But I also like the thing of nobody wants to be alone, and she knows that she can't really don't see, because I think the guy said the other thing or whatever. I don't know if it's true, but that's what he said, So I feel like she can't really put herself into that. She's also a bit traditional, and you can't like go after a guy like that. You have to be trading along these lines of, okay, I like you, but you have to put myself in the way you come and the thing you're supposed to do. So she will definitely. So I think that's why she's also not like it's as if she's in trial. Is it as if she's giving? Is it Ben?
Mm-hmm.
That's audience and all that. So the show kind of is.
Richard, can you
Okay.
move around? Your connection is really bad. Can you move around, right?
Oh,
It's fluctuating really bad.
well, I'm using
Yeah.
the best connection, so
Yeah.
and how how is it now?
Oh, this is better. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like what's the name? I was speaking about for this being boring. I feel like a lot of it is not the fault of the housemates. I feel like organize over there's a way you over and you put too much ingredients and spices, and before you know, it affect the point of the whole food. So to this thing of putting too
Ah,
much.
Richard,
Okay, you've
Richard, no, Richard, we have to try this again. Your network is really, really bad. We can't even hear you anymore. Like it's really bad. So please do me this favor. Can you log out and then log back in? all right? Because it's very important we hear you clearly, okay? So log out and then come back in, please. You're making so much sense. We don't want to miss out on the things you're saying, all right? So please log back in. And whilst you're at that, we're going to speak with Jay Fansworth. Jay Fansworth was here, he was talking, and then he equally had network issues. So we're going to talk with him. All right. Okay, Jay, you're welcome back.
Thank you, Glory. Can you hear me
Yeah.
clearly now?
Yes, I can hear you better now. Welcome back.
Okay, thank you again. I'd like to quickly address someone in the comment section. I think that's Z. Z, I think the problem is with the fanatics, you know. But what Glory was trying to explain earlier was right that if Onyeka started that whole, narrative about the snail, then it's on her. That's how people will perceive her. But now, if fanatics have chosen to respond that way, then that's on them. It's not actually on Kelly Ray or TJ or who. So ever. That's the problem with the fanatics. Anyway, back to what I was saying earlier on.
Thank you.
So why so why I started off by discussing about the different attachment styles, is if you recall in the Super Commando task when these housemates were how that whole event was a bit emotional, how they let us in on what had happened in their lives, the events. If you recall, one ex-handy, they told us about how, they had been fending for themselves, how they had gone through these hardships, had been sleeping in the offices and what have you. And then when it came to Shaun, he told us about how, he got caught up with COVID as he had gone to the UK to play football and what have you. Now he had to, fend for himself too. Now, why do I bring this in? I feel like usually these attachment styles, it's how I'm not saying I'm actually basing this on what we are seeing in the show. I'm not saying I entirely know these housemates. I'm basing on what we have seen. So I'm just thinking out loud that probably the twins have probably gone through experiences in their childhood. I've not really had them talk about their like family at length on the show so much. So I feel like certain people, when they have not, had that sort of affection, being pampered and what have you. So when they get into a relationship and sort of, find this person that they're attracted to, they expect you to baby them and, do all these things, So I feel like that's why probably Wanni cannot really see her worth, that most times you'll see her even accepting all the rubbish that Shaun has to dish out to her. I
Yes.
mean, when Shaun said that statement that you bring out the worst in me, I was taken
Yeah.
aback at guys who will beat up a lady, and then you'll find a lady. I'm not saying that Shaun is a woman beater or is violent, but I'm just giving a certain narrative. Imagine these guys who beat up ladies or who are violent, and then you'll find the ladies apologizing. I'm sorry that I made you so
Mm,
angry that you ended up, beating me up, or you ended up shouting at
yeah.
me or throwing things at me. I think you've seen that in society, and
Yes.
you know that gives off the sort of personality of a sociopath. These are people who have no regard of people's emotions, and they don't know whether they are right or wrong. It's all about them. And Glory, you'll help me understand what is the definition of an apology. I thought an apology is that you accept your wrongs, and then you accept
Yes.
your wrongs, and then after that you show how remorseful you are. But
Absolutely.
when it came to Shaun, when they were having that discussion in the in the garden, it's like Shaun was apologizing, but then at the same time being defensive. You know,
He
I'm
wasn't
sorry, but then
apologizing, was
it
he?
wasn't. Yeah,
He wasn't.
yeah. So the only person I feel sorry in that whole trio is Handy, because she has to put up with all that. She's trying to make her sister see this, but then the sister is hell bent on this guy. She can't, I think, function without Shaun. Then then of course, yeah, she's enabling him, and that's what keeps him. I think yesterday you even saw when they came from their, was it no, when they came from the wager presentation, she had to go and make a special meal for Shaun. You know, I
Hmm.
saw Shaun grabbing her and trying to express how hungry he is, and she had to be the woman,
Trying to go
do
and be
all
doing
those.
some more in the kitchen. And then when he was eating, she was looking at him like this. I'm like, what
Yeah,
manner of disgusting sight is this? And then when he went to go
exactly.
and shave in the bathroom, he was like, "Oh, could you help me get my towel?" And then she went, like, what the hell?
Exactly. But then, okay, I'm angry on that when it comes to when it comes to that side of Shaun. But then again, when it comes to how the show has been this whole time, boring and what have you, I'll give it to Shaun because he tries to rile up these
Mm-hmm,
housemates. It is okay if
mm-hmm,
he does it to these other housemates, but now when you do it to your inner circle, then I have a problem with it. That takes me to what Suj had said. You're trying to be a
mm-hmm.
funny guy, and then you're trying to act as my friend. Choose a side, choose a struggle. You know,
Yeah,
we're taking you to be in our inner circle, but then again, you're trying to bring this other side of you that we don't
yeah.
understand. Then, lastly, I want to talk about the show being boring. Glory, I think even us as the fans, we are to blame for this. You know why I say this?
Why?
It is because when you started this show, before the show started, you told us to keep, our emotions out of all this. But you realize that when a housemate kind of steps on the toes of other housemates, we are quick to label that person as the villain and we want them out. I'm not
Yes.
saying that I'm innocent. I'm also to blame. Sometimes I think you've seen my comments. I also have some,
Mm-hmm,
we are human. Sometimes we let our emotions get the best of us. So you find that
mm-hmm,
housemates like Dami, housemates like Ruthie and Chinwe, who could have, got that house, worked up. I saw a
mm.
comment when the video you put out yesterday, and you were saying, what can we do in the share your comments about, what you
Yeah.
think Big Brother can do to make this. Well, someone said, I think Big Brother should give Wanni a task so that she goes and causes trouble. And I think Wanni can be able to pull that out. She just goes and steps on people's toes. So
Mm.
but then I also think, I don't know if you've noticed, when people want to react, there are these particular housemates who want, to call for peace. And then you find people
Mm-hmm,
bottling down their emotions. A case in point that it's the Mbadiwe twins. If you recall that night when the twin sisters were having their fight, and then these others wanted to, kind of react, and then Ozzy almost went off with, with Femi. He didn't want Femi to,
mm-hmm.
sort of like respond, show his reaction. So you find most of these housemates are bottling in their emotions because probably they have a certain regard or a certain they sort of fear certain
Mm.
housemates within the house because they don't know what will happen when they are outside. So I guess that's
Yeah,
the reason as to why you find most of them, are bottling down their emotions and,
yeah.
boring us, honestly.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's my
I mean,
submission for
I totally agree with you, Jay Fansworth. And, there are so many reasons why this season is extremely boring that we can list out. The list is endless. We can list out a lot of things. But at the same time, I think no matter how many reasons we list out, it still also boils down to the viewing audience. Are we really ready for a proper reality TV show? I'll ride off the back of what you said about Dami. In the first week, Dami had stepped on toes. You know, normally, if viewers really wanted to see the house shake, if they really wanted to see how things will work out, of course, the season is no lose guard, but there's somebody that is stepping out of the bounds of that theme and is ready to shake things up, right? Probably not dramatically, but stepping on toes and, kind of poking people by throwing her authority around the house because all the housemates are concluded that she was bossy, right? Why
yes.
didn't the viewers vote to keep her in? Why did she and her partner fall into bottom four? Because if you talk about entertainment, what they were doing was kind of entertainment to us. But then some people already saw housemates that were aesthetically pleasing, and they were already liking them, and they were already keeping them in the house. Oh, this one is fine. This one looks good. This one knows how to dress well. This one is fashionable, and people were already forming their judgments based on the physical looks of certain
Very
housemates.
trivial.
It's
Yeah,
crazy, it's
very
crazy.
trivial. Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, very
So
trivial issues. Mm.
yeah. So now we are complaining that the show is boring, the show is boring. But the people that had the potential to give us drama, why did they continue to fall into bottom four?
And we always want to see the ladies fight and what have you. But
Mm-hmm.
look at this example. Suj has been having issues with Sean. But
Mm-hmm.
even yesterday, he sort of went to Ozzy and he sort of whispered, said something to Ozzy. Like he noticed that Sean was trying to get under his nerves. But then what did
Mm.
he choose? He kept quiet. He's keeping it all
Mm-hmm.
cool. Yeah, he doesn't want to respond. And that's what the fans want. So I feel like all these housemates, they go and talk a big game when they're in the diary room. They complain to Big Brother, and then Big Brother.
Mm.
I like what Big Brother usually tells them. What do you want me to do about that? you know, Go face that person. Yeah. Do you want Big Brother to come and fight your battles in the house?
Like,
Yeah, but with all that said, maybe I'll say that the twins are really trying. The twins, the girls, Wanni and
mm-hmm.
Handy. I feel like they are trying. That is why I
Mm.
liked the comment that that person put out. If Wanni were to be given a task by Big Brother that go step on
Mm.
everyone's toes. If you can't go into their lockers, how people are so hold their property so precious. So imagine you
Mm.
touching their property and doing something with it. They'll come in your face, and Wanni will be able to face them. I think you've always seen whenever Ebuka says something about them, they're like, okay, if you have something to say, come and say it to my face.
Yeah, but, but
So
but but then again, that there's a problem there. That in as
yeah,
much as this is going to be TV worthy content,
yes,
if Big Brother gives Wani,
such a
especially a
task.
task, we're going to have a blast. But guess what? There's
Mm,
already an ugly narrative from the viewing public, from some of the viewers, about the twin systems. They've already slut shamed them. They've already body shamed them. As much as they have their own fans, they are not
yeah.
particularly the favorites of the general viewing population, right? Now, what is that going to do? Imagine they go and trigger someone like Victoria that people just like because she's light skinned. People just like her because they say she looks like Nengi, just for the
Uh,
aesthetics. She's already
There we
got
go
pretty
again.
privilege, right? People
Mm,
already like her for that. So imagine someone like the twin sisters that a lot of people do already like goes to go and play a prank that would end up triggering someone like Victoria. The viewers' favor is going to fall into Victoria is going to be in the favor of the viewers. That's what I'm saying. Do you see where the imbalance lies now?
yeah, I can see that. It always
Yeah.
also comes back to us, the fans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my submission, Glory. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you so much. And thanks for coming back despite the network failure. Thank you so much. Fortune, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to everybody else, but please, the people on Twitter needs to speak. They have been here for a while, all right? So let's just quickly speak with the two persons. I think it's two. Let's look at the two persons on Twitter. There is Peter Lee. Hello, Peter. Are you ready to speak now? Hello. Hello, Peter. Are you there? Okay, so I'm not sure Peter wants to speak at all today, so we're just going back. Hello, Peter. Are you there? Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna go back to people that are ready to speak. Okay. All right. Hi, Fortune.
Hi, Glory. Hi, everyone.
Hi, I'm good. You're
Hi, how are
welcome.
you? Thank you so much.
I'm
Thank you.
fine.
Good,
How are
good. I don't want
you?
to be repetitive. I'm good, Mama. I'm very good. Thank you so much. I
Okay.
wanted to join today to just give my 2 cents worth, but I'm hoping maybe you
Nice.
can just ask me one question because everything I want to say has probably already been said, but maybe if you can throw me a question, I can answer just one.
Okay, okay. Let's talk about the sisters, the sibling rivalry between both of them. Do you think Onyeka is playing a good game by competing against her sister, other than the Mbadiwe twins, who are very strong contenders in the game?
You see, when I see Onyeka, I'm conflicted a little bit because I sort of want to like her, but because she resembles Amaka so much, I didn't like Amaka in the game. So a bit of what she's doing is the Amaka style. I'm one of the people that celebrated when Amaka left, actually, because I didn't like her game. And it wasn't so much bad that she was doing whatever she was doing, but I can't like everybody, right? She was just not
Yeah.
one of the people that I like. But I quite like Onyeka in the sense that Onyeka looks hungry for the game. She came prepared.
Yes.
She had a few things
Yes.
in a bucket that she wanted to do. I'll do this, I'll do that,
Mhm.
I'll do this, I'll do that. Because it's a pairing season, she appears to me like the person that really wanted this more than her sister. We need to look at it like that. Why?
Mhm.
When people come as a duo, there is no way me and my sister both wanted Big Brother. It doesn't make sense. Even if we did, somebody wanted it more than the other. So what I'm seeing when I see Onyeka having this disappointment and high expectations of her sister is her hungry for the win, right? She's doing everything that she thinks will take either one of them to the end. And I'm not saying it's right that she lashes out like that, but I don't know if it's Jay or somebody who came and said, there's a time you forget these cameras because whilst they're acting, this is also real life for them. Like, she's like, girl, you are my bottleneck right now. Let's do this. If we're going to hook up with the rich boys, let's hook up with the rich boys. That's exactly what Onyeka did. She's there with Shaun. I don't even know if Shaun loves Wanni or Onyeka at this point. She's in Shaun's pocket. She's in the Mbadiwes. Whether it's for the wealth or for the connections, I really do see the Santorini effect with what Onyeka has done. She's placed herself with the people that she thinks, if I don't win the money when I'm outside, I'm going to do
At
good.
least, yes.
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 So if I look at the pairing, I just have a few that there's one in the pair that wanted this more than the other. And in this particular case, I'm seeing that person is Onyeka. And I'm not saying the sister, Chizoba, didn't really want it, but it feels like a drag for her. And I don't think if she was electing, she would choose to be here in the way Onyeka would. So back to your question, the rivalry is probably stemming from, I want us to do more. I want us to do big. I want us to be strong, bold, be like me. She said it so many times. I want Chizoba to be like me, right? Because I'm sure she's shared the plan to say, when we go in the house, let's do this. And you get Chizoba who cries when Ozzy coughs, she cries. When Ben winks, she cries. She's just crying. We're like, what is the problem? You're overly sensitive. And Onyeka is not like that. And I think it's Jay or one of the other guys who didn't have network who said Onyeka appears to be hiding something, right? Her vulnerabilities. And I'm happy that she is. You don't want to come and show everybody your weaknesses. You mask it. And then when you go outside, you deal with your shit. So I think it's looking like this because I think she's really trying to drag her sister along with to say, you know what, girl, let's do this. And unfortunately, she's probably doing it in public in a way, but I like that the other fight was in private. They were there in private. They probably just thought we were just fighting as sisters do, you know? So I don't want to bash her so much because she's not my fave, but I quite like the fact that she's probably one, herself and Shaun, they came with a strategy. And I like people that come to games with strategy. Please don't come like the guy with the locks that got evicted recently. What's his name? I'm forget the one with the light-skinned boy that went out last week. He says, I didn't have a strategy. How do you come to want to win millions?
Michky and
You
Fairme.
don't have a strategy to come. You are coming to a fight with people that are coming with schemes and plots in their head, and you've got no strategy. So I honestly think that she just wants it that much. And she says it all the time. She wants it so bad that when she's in the diary room, she can't even hold her emotions. That's how desperate she would do. That girl will put anything under the bus, including her own food, to get to that price. She would do it. She's hungry. She's playing the game. So it's unfortunate that she's playing with her sister. If this was a friend, I believe Onyeka would be doing the same thing. We're judging her now because we're like, yo, girl, this is blood. But to be honest, I don't think she's doing that much extra. She's playing the game. That's my view.
Great, great. I mean,
You know?
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And you know, this is something we actually mentioned right from the very get-go when the housemates got into the house. The moment the live show was over, that's the launcher, Onyeka was in everybody's face, talking to
Mhm.
everybody, planting herself in every circle, planting herself in everybody's mind. She was standing on business from the very get-go.
Yeah.
However, here is the part, right? If we are going to do like a bit of comparison, right, with other audacious players like Kosi Twala from Big Brother Titans, right?
Mhm.
One thing I love about Kosi's game was Kosi had that audacity and she stood by her audacity.
Mhm.
Onyeka, on the other hand, is trying to give that audacity, but I feel like she's a bit cowardly about it. What
Mhm.
do I mean? I love the part you mentioned. We're going to play with the rich guys.
Mhm.
If we lose the game, if we lose the money, at least we do not lose on the outside.
Mhm.
Already, she's giving out her demands to them, by the way, twins, Ozzy especially. I want gold when we get out of the house. Are you going to throw a party for me when we get out? Are we going to do this? These are things that the Mbadiwe twins are known for outside the
Mhm.
house. They are the guys, girls, they do this, they do that, they live large, they flex big and all whatnot. So she's really playing the game, you know. But there's also the part where she's actually not living up to the reality or facing the reality that her sister is not her.
Mhm.
She is Onyeka. Chizoba is herself. They are obviously different, two different personalities and whatnot. And so the way she is sort of trying to probably
Mhm.
encourage your sister to step up to her own game, her own
Mhm.
standard. Don't you think it's actually now creating a negative perception about her, you know, as one who is ready to throw family under the bus
Mhm.
to be with the rich kids? Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is. Unfortunately, because two things. There's sort of maybe some love that has also creeped into her head because I don't think it's still friendship with the twins. One of the twins, I suspect she may be harboring some feelings because of just the way she looks at. Is it Ozzy? I think it's Ozzy. It's just the way
Mm-hmm.
she's around him. I think that has actually gotten all over her head. And you know, when those feelings kick in a girl, you can't think straight. You do such
Mm-hmm.
stupid things, right? And
Mm-hmm.
yes, probably her mistake was coming into this with her sister. She should have come with a
Mm-hmm.
friend because when you put a friend under the bus, it is what it is. Like what happened with Ruthie and what's
DJ
DJ
Flo.
Flo. Yes, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's very unfortunate that she brought a sister into this. And yes, it's really looking bad now. And to the extent that I actually want Chizoba to go so that Onyeka can flourish. Chizoba is not touching this money. We all know that. It's very clear.
We know.
If there's anybody amongst the two of them that's touching the money, it's Onyeka. She has done a good
Mhm.
job. Guys, this girl has worked very hard. Annoying as she may be, she has really put her foot down. She has presence in this. In fact, she's one of the few people making the game work. So I would say,
Mhm.
if anybody wants to come back again into a show like this, maybe don't bring family because then it's really dog eat dog. Because now, how do you compete with your own family? It's difficult.
Yeah.
And I think, in as much as she wants to be nice, she's telling her that don't make these rich boys clean the toilet because I want them to see us as people that are prioritizing them. Onyeka is not even different from one. It's the same thing. You know, it's exactly what one is doing to Sean. It's the same. She's like, no matter what we do, these guys get the best of it. Yesterday they were eating cake. I don't know if you saw. The boys were
Mhm.
hovering around the time when they took the cake from the fridge. It's like they'll get first preference when that thing is unfrozen. I went to bed. I don't know who got the best piece when the cake thawed. I was like, okay, this is it. And it's allowed. You're allowed to have friends, you know, and unfortunately she brought her sister. And yes, it's gonna be looking like she's throwing her sister under the bus, but anything to get the money, we will reconcile outside. I'm sorry. That's me.
Mm.
That's my
Mm.
view.
I
Yeah.
mean, I see where you're coming from, and 100% it is very, very valid. However, I fear for Onyeka's type of game because the type of game she's playing is in the Nigerian setting,
Mhm.
right? We keep on talking about how we're not ready for reality TV shows like this because of the kind of games people would tend to play. People might be ruthless and people might be really soft. And if you look at the people, okay, let's not say people now, but the kind of person that a lot of people would side with in situations like that, it could easily be the Chizoba, you know. Oh, the older sister that is getting disrespected. You see how a lot of people's trauma would come into defense for Chizoba. Onyeka, on the other hand, who is actually carrying that pair when they were a pair, and who is now also playing a fantastic game, because at the end of the day, if she wins the money goes home. One way or the other, Chizoba could have a piece of the cake, yeah. But I was thinking that she, as a very smart person, could have easily had another session where they had a conversation about that argument, right? And then she would explain to her sister that, listen, the game is the game. We've quarreled, but we move. But then I feel like it's now beginning to look bad because they've had their quarrel. And it's like she is monopolizing this relationship with them, by the way, twins, and trying to completely exclude her sister from the circle. So
Yeah.
my concern for her now is I hope she's not going to allow this to hinder her chances. And not about the money now, but with public opinion. Remember, after the show, there's the afterlife, and there's the media round where they will have to answer questions. So there will be a lot of questions for her to answer.
Yeah, no, very sad. And it boils down to their relationship outside as well, which does not appear to be very strong from when you see them gel in the house. Yeah, I don't know if they are like as close as, the standard siblingship sort of. I think, yeah, it's not. So it's very unfortunate. It may affect it that way, but I'm hoping there's a time when people see the game as the game and outside is outside. Although a little bit of the game is normal day living, it is. But I think Onyeka is just thinking money sort out everything outside. That's my perspective. So I hope he doesn't. So let's see. Yes, but she's doing a good job. And yes, she should have just come with a friend. That's all. That's a mistake. But I think let's get Chizoba out, and then Onyeka can do her thing. That's my view.
All right.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Glory.
much
Thanks
for
so much.
sharing.
I'm happy to
Thank
have
you.
answered your question. Thank you. Chat next
You
week.
have.
Alrighty.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye. Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna quickly move on to Risad. Risad is back. Oh, great. All right. Hi, Risad. You there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm hoping now I'm
Oh,
better. I
great.
don't
Your
know.
network is better now. It's better now. So please, you can
Oh,
kick off from where you left off.
yes, thank you so much. And the last speaker, she said something that I agree with, because I think someone like Onyeka has just mentally, she just kind of not, she don't want to remember home. I think she feels like she's like in a battlefield, and she has to separate work. I think maybe nobody knows the kind of window. I think she's a lawyer. Yeah, she's a lawyer, but maybe
She
she
is,
has
yeah.
been working. Yeah, I don't know if she's working in a farm. There's this mentality some people might have, like work is work and family is family and all that. And maybe when it doesn't mean that she hates her sister. I don't think she does.
Of
There was a time
course.
she was telling is it CJ that no matter what he's noticing, if someone touches Chizoba, then they will see another side of her. And
Yeah.
yeah, and also I feel like she might also be a little bit disappointed in Chizoba, because I feel like there was a time she said that they had an agreement that there's no, they are not going to be shipping or anything. So I feel like maybe she's not saying it out, but I feel like they had a particular strategy that she feels like Chizoba on her own side did not meet up to. So I feel like she might be having that disappointing feeling towards Chizoba in that area. As much as she's not going and trying to physically tear down Chizoba's ship, or force her to be in a certain way, but I feel like deep down she's kind of a bit disappointed. Maybe Chizoba walked away from their strategies, kind of. So, and yeah, she's very intentional. Like speaker said, I think she's very intentional. She gives off this someone that is like a go-getter, and she kind of strategizes to get whatever she wants to get, and she tries to stick to that no matter what. I feel like, yeah, it's possible. It's kind of clear that she might be falling somehow for, I don't know if he's falling or if it's also the same go-getting mentality. I don't know if she's falling in love with Ozzy or if it's just the same strategic or if it's just the same strategic approach that she's using to approach the guys. So I feel like we can't really for me, I wouldn't totally based on what we are seeing. Maybe if outside the house and she's still giving that vibe, and probably people can judge her. But for now, I think it's just she feels like she's in a theater of war, and she has to
Yeah.
strategize the best way she can. Then I was just going to finish by saying, this boring. I feel like some people, I don't think they are that boring, to be honest with you. And I'm not the kind of viewer that is so much looking at fighting or causing as content. I feel like you can do a lot of content without doing all of that. I feel like so I feel like is it the organizers or whoever is in charge? I feel like this dynamic that they introduced has kind of messed up the mental, should I say, the psychology of the housemates. So even if they're no longer kicking themselves with the save and replace and all that, I feel like they're still kind of working. Maybe psychologically they don't know they're out of that already, and now they've just transferred that mentality to the nomination. Like, hey, okay, before we are trying to not to offend the what's it called, the immunity holder. Now we should try not to offend the housemates so that we won't be nominated. Something like that. And if you notice, before they unpaired them, there was this strategy Shaun and Wanni and Victoria, they were trying to come up with, and they were still going along those lines of there was a time Wanni told Handy that since they see her as the calmer one and all that, she should try and become with everybody. Then she cannot do so much because they already see her as a kind of the bad person or somehow. So
Mhm.
so it's just that thing. So I feel like the organizer shouldn't have done that, and they would have just done the normal season. And after some 1 or 2 weeks, you bring another 1 or 2 housemates and all that. It kind of spices up the even the viewers that will feel like, hey, I've not seen somebody that I can really jump on as to be my fave or something. Then after 2 weeks, if they see somebody coming in, it kind of brings back their like what's happened with Cheesy and during the time of doing you remember Cheesy came, I think,
Mhm.
2 weeks, and he was not even a real housemate, but he spiced up the whole thing and got a lot a lot of people interested in the show just by being there because of his style. But this time there's nobody expecting any but I wouldn't rate the show as totally boring, to be honest. But I also feel like the producers or organizers should have done, shouldn't have experimented too much with how
Mm.
they want it to go. Yeah, but so far, I think is kind
All right.
of not too bad.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
And thanks for coming back despite the issues with your network. Well, when we say that the show was boring this week, especially, I mean, I've been one of those people that have been encouraging you guys to watch the show, listen to the housemates conversation, you know, right from the very get go when people started complaining that the show was boring, boring, boring. But this week, especially, the show has been okay, not the show, but some of the housemates. Let me not generalize the whole show. Most of the housemates have been really boring. They've been they've been totally indifferent to the game. And it shows in how much they've slept this week. To the point that Big Brother had to be introducing new games. Come on. See, when you are watching this Big Brother Naija show, the moment Big Brother begins to introduce new games, despite the fact that they already have a gaming section in the house. So imagine they already have a gaming section. They've played all the games in that area to the point that they are now tired of it. They are bored and they are now sleeping a lot. After their workout session, they are sleeping. They eat, they sleep, they wait for Big Brother. It's a lot. They've been sleeping a lot to the point that even the past few pool parties were kind of just low energy. It's like they wait till the Saturday night party for them to unleash, and really dance and enjoy, like they're actually going for proper clubbing, that's when you see them really give energy. And thanks to Onyeka and her sister, Wanni, Ndi, and Shaun, who were actually giving us drama this week with their relationships. But aside those people, the others have just pretty much been laid back. I was even very surprised to see Suj and Nelly having another situation last night. I'm like, oh, okay. People's fight is always happening in the middle of the night. Why do people always wait till the midnight to have your situations? Because at the end of the day, you need to keep things happening during the day. Why do you have to wake up and wait till middle of the night? So yeah, I mean, the fact that people that had to take that initiative to start introducing new games. I mean, just yesterday they gave them a Ludo board. So there's always something people that is introducing, and that's because they are probably trying not to interfere too much with the flow of things in the house, but somehow they have to interfere. So the housemates, they need to bring up their energy. And when we talk about boring, we're not talking about fights. Entertainment on the show does not necessarily have to be people doing basketballs and shouting and fighting all the time. No, we don't necessarily need another Ruti and Wanni ex Handi's face off. No, it could be something different. It could be something better. But the housemates sleeping all day until people that gives them a task or a game, that is definitely not entertainment. Okay, let's speak with Habib, Rania Habib. Hello.
Hi, Glory.
Hi, you're welcome. How are you?
Hi, hello everyone. Hello. I just come
Welcome to
here
the
to
conversation.
thank you so
Welcome.
much. I'm a fan and I've been
Hmm.
watching your videos all this while, but a
Thank you
silent
so much.
viewer.
Thank you.
Glory, I just come here for a request, not necessarily watching the show, just watching your reviews, and that's all. I don't know much
Okay.
about the show. I just heard about this one ex Andy matter and so annoying. Oh, anyway, I will keep watching your reviews, and I just want to request you
Okay.
to review Real Housewife of Dubai. That show is interesting. I don't know. I have to bring it here because uh, I don't know where to reach
Are you
you
saying
with
I
that
should
show.
review the show, Real
Yeah,
Housewives of Dubai?
yeah.
Okay.
After
Okay.
this
I
show,
will review
I
it.
I will I recommend that show to you and everyone. And that's all. Wish you all a happy weekend, all of you.
All right. I
Thank
will
you.
definitely review it. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Thank you so
You're
much for your
welcome.
recommendation.
Mhm.
And thanks
Mhm.
for always watching my reviews. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, Glory. Thank you, everyone.
All right. All right. Let's speak with Mariam. And guys, if you want to join the conversation, if you're on YouTube, please click the link in the comment section. If you're on Twitter, send in your request and I'll bring you on to speak. All right. Hello, Mariam. Is Mariam there? Okay, that's some awkward silence right there. Let's move on to Rose. When Mariam comes, we'll speak with Mariam. Hi, Rose. Hello, Rose. You have to unmute so we can hear you. Hello, Rose.
Hi,
Uh,
Glory.
who is speaking now?
It's Mariam.
Ah, Mariam. Wake up, wake up. Don't be boring like the housemates. How are you?
I'm fine. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. You're welcome. You're welcome. Good to
I'm
have
happy
you
I'm
here.
speaking today. I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. Like
Excellent.
last week,
That's the
my
energy.
network was terrible. Like I was so pissed. I had a lot to say. I was so pissed. Okay, let's start
You're
from
welcome.
the housemates. They're actually boring. Let's be sincere. They are
Okay.
fucking boring. Um, I don't think we necessarily need fights for us to enjoy the show.
Mm-hmm.
What I think the All Star season, like there's something every day, and it's not always fights. It's not
Yes.
always physical assault or something. It was just
True.
something. Sissy,
True.
Doyin, Veneta, they were giving us back to back. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was very interesting. But you see, this season, I think they're just trying not to step on toes, and it's going to affect a lot of them. Just very few of them is carrying the show. I'm very
Hmm.
surprised that Sean, right now, people didn't see Sean coming. We saw him as a lover boy, one London boy that just want to use Wanni. But this guy is working harder than the devil, like you used to say, Glory.
Mm-hmm.
He's beginning
Mm-hmm.
to come out of his shell. He's not beginning to play the game like, oh, I'm willing to win this money.
Yes.
I'm beginning to like Sean. I don't like him initially because I felt he was using one of my girls one. But now I'm beginning to like him. Like, he's
Mm-hmm.
playing the show. As regards
Mm-hmm.
to Onyeka, sometimes there are people that feel like I will apologize to family later. I think that's what Onyeka is just doing. And I
Hmm.
really appreciate her as well. She's one of those carrying the show. There are just very few of them. But the
Yeah.
person I'm most disappointed at is Nelly. When I first saw Nelly, I was like, Ginger, this girl. No, this girl, she's going to bring fire and stone. This, no, I'm disappointed. Like, they have insulted her in so many ways. No one will call me a thief and you go, I will drag your hair. Call me a
Nelly's
thief?
boring now. Let's be
No.
real.
She's very boring. And I was expecting her to fight Chinwe when Chinwe called her a thief. I was
Hmm.
expecting her to not necessarily slap her, but let me see drama. Let me say that, okay, you didn't steal the chain. Let's see drama. And this her
Hmm.
and Sue drama is like, I think it's when she's ovulating or menstruating. Comes once in a while, and then he goes once in a while, and then he goes. At last week, you mentioned something about Anita and Tofa, and I
Mm-hmm.
think one of the speakers said Anita does not like. Sorry, Tofa doesn't like Anita. Then I remembered when they entered the show, I read most of them's bio, and I
Hmm.
realized that Such said he likes his girls tall, while Tofa
Mm-hmm.
said he likes his girls short. But in the house, they now took the opposite. So I think they really don't like those girls. Those two guys, nah, they're just trying. They want someone to kiss. I mean, it's not easy to be in
It's
a.
like they switched up their
Yes,
potential seeds because
yes,
initially
exactly.
Tofa was going Tofa was going for Nelly before. I don't even know what happened.
And I think one of the housemates as well said it that I think it's Ben that he feels they're switched off. One of the housemates said it sometimes last week that it's like Nelly likes this person, they're switched off on each other. But for this week, Big Brother needs to do something. It's just that it's going to be awkward for him to bring someone like Benita, Doyin, Sisi, bring them back to the house. Let them come and tell these people out there how it is done. They are
Hmm.
losing viewers. Like my sisters, they don't miss Big Brother for anything. But now, these days, come on, even me myself, all I just do, wake up, check Glory's YouTube page, let me see what's going
Hmm.
on. I don't sit 24/7 on it again. I wanna
Hmm.
watch movies, sleep, and then maybe just come once. Let me say, oh, Glory has dropped something. Let me watch. You give us the analysis better than the housemaid themselves. The Big Brother needs to do something. I think, and I'm suspecting they are going to do that this weekend. That is why there is no efficient. They're going to bring
Hmm.
out I think that's what they're going to do this weekend. And I'm really
Hmm.
hoping to see people that will give them boost, let them understand that none of them is worth the money, honestly, for now.
Hmm.
None of them is worth the money. If I'm to give the money, people that calls me today, Mary, I'm give somebody, I'll give Wanni. Wanni, please go home. Go home
Hmm.
with the money. You've tried. Or share with Onyeka. Give Onyeka 10 million. Take the 90 million and go. But the
Hmm.
rest, oh no. I think it's Ebuka that is carrying the show. Ebuka and Glory. Let me add your name. You are the one. Because sometimes your analysis comes with.
Are you there, Mariam?
No. My
Hello,
network.
Mariam.
No.
I can hear you. I can hear
Are you
you.
there, Glory?
Yes, I can hear you. Carry on, please. Mariam.
Oh.
Mariam, I can
Yeah,
hear
I'm
you.
here.
Carry
Can you
on.
hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I don't want I said I'm not going to miss today. If I miss today, I'll cry. So I feel like
All right.
you and Ebuka. Big Brother needs to give you some money out of this money, honestly.
Yeah,
Glory. You are
yeah.
doing
Now,
amazing.
so
Sometimes something tiny will happen. The way you analyze it, I'll just sit down and nobody can take my phone from me at that point. You are doing well, girl. You are doing
thank you.
excellently well. And I would give it to you.
Thank you.
But it's Oyeka. Oyeka is in love with, is he OC or OZ? Which of them, Seth?
Ozzy, Ozzy.
She is. She is. And she Ozzy. She's using this, this primary school thing or secondary school that when you like someone, you show it, but at the same time you now withdraw a little. You sure
Hmm.
you withdraw. So that was when she now started trying to get walls out of what was her name? Victoria. When you
Hmm.
like somebody, there's this person, the person likes somebody else, now
Yeah.
start trying to play with their minds. That was what she was doing.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
I feel Victoria is boring. I don't know who her fans are. I'm sorry. They're not funny
Hey,
at
God.
all. She's very boring. She just loved because
Someone said
she's
even the
quiet
parrot is
and she's
boring.
beautiful. That's not enough. It's really not enough, honestly. I feel
Yeah.
Big Brother just needs to do something. He needs to. He's trying. Big Brother is trying, and I would agree with one of someone that just spoke. The person said Big Brother should give a tax to Wanni. I think he should.
Hmm.
Wanni would deliver. She would. But
Hmm.
what we need to be scared of is the
The
consequences of
aftermath. Yeah.
this. She could trigger somebody, and the person will go physical with her. And once the person do that, that's the end of the show
Hmm.
for the person. But I know that
Okay.
Wanni can deliver. You see, Action Ben, that guy is funny.
Hmm.
No, we need to keep him. I'm not a fan of his, but I think I'll start sharing my votes now.
Hmm. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming through. And thanks for your beautiful compliment. Thank you. Okay. We're going to move on to Rose. But before we do so, I just want to ask, like, maybe just throw in a comment about their wager task presentation that happened yesterday, right? And the fact that the housemates won. Do you guys think they actually deserved to win the wager compared to last week's wager? It's just a genuine question. And if I were to answer that question, I would say Big Brother kind of favored Onyeka this week. And I think it's just, but I don't know what it is, whether it's because it's her birthday week. I don't know. There was just so many. I don't know. Let me not say what's on my mind, but I just wondered why. Why did they win? Yes, Onyeka and Mbadiwe twins, they spent sleepless nights. No, no, I mean sleepless nights. Okay, Onyeka was one that actually really had a sleepless night, coming up with the script. And was it anybody's fault? No, she took it upon herself to do it. It wasn't like anybody forced her. She wanted to win the wager, so she did, you know. But last week, we had more people that invested their sleepless nights as well to create that very complicated, instructions on the brief. Last week's wager was crazy. It was just hectic. The things, even me at some point, I did not really understand the requirements of the brief. But the likes of TJ, they put in so much effort, so many sleepless nights into creating all those things that they created. And then for some weird reason, they lost their wager. And then this week, Oyeka and her crew, they delivered the barest minimum, and people that was giving them some flimsy accolades. Even the people that designed the costume self, that did the sewing, he did not even acknowledge them this week. Eh? Like, in fact, let me even say what's on my mind. Big Brother was just favoring Onyeka this week. The lavish birthday party, the way he kept on emphasizing on the pool party being Onyeka's after party, and I'm like, people that come, calm down. We know that you're excited about this particular one, but calm down. You're making it too obvious at this point. So, question is, compared to last week's wager, do you guys honestly think that they deserved to win this wager? I thought like they shouldn't have won it, right? And the only reason I felt like they shouldn't have won it is to wake them up because they lost the wager last week, yes. And one would expect that this week, as they've lost the wager, they would invest so much time and energy into the preparation of this week's one so that they do not lose it. But guess what? They were even sleeping more. They were even more lax this week. More lax. Sometimes it looks like Onyeka is carrying people along, but other times you can tell that she just wants her own idea to be at the center stage of it all. You know, though the housemates were giving her accolades that, oh, she carries everybody along, but those ones, they are lying because they know that they just wanted to just chill and let other people do all the work. So I just thought I should say that out loud because it's been in my head since last night, you know, watching the whole play. I'm glad that Big Brother pointed out the fact that there was a lot of plot holes. Yeah. The storyline was kind of inconsistent because till now, I don't understand Tofa's significance in that whole play. After going to go and collect something from the seer that was coughing like she's got tuberculosis, the thing you now collected, I don't understand what was the significance of that thing. So I just thought it was just a lot of plot holes and let me not talk again. We move. We're gonna speak with we're gonna speak with Rose right now. Hello, Rose. Hello, Rose. Hi, Rose. You're
Hi,
welcome. How are you?
I'm good on you. Let's just
I'm
use
good.
my network.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but according to me, Onyeka already told Chizoba'S, like, when you go inside the house, you do your things, and when you enter the ship, it's on your own. I remember after the party, Chizoba was drunk and she was talking to Ben. And then she said to Ben that I've already talked to my sister, or you know what? Whatever you do inside the house is on your own. Whatever I do is on my own. And then Chizoba is failing to understand or Onyeka is really, really playing the game. The only thing Chizoba wants is to sit in the corner, then Onyeka will come and comfort, which is not good. There is no time for comforting each other. And the only thing she's about to sleep, eat, cry. That's the only thing that I see Chizoba is doing. Eat with bed, go to bed, and then after that crying, say, Onyeka did this. I don't understand. But according to me, Onyeka is the one who is carrying the show so far. Is the one who is doing all the things. Chizoba is just lying down. The only thing she cry in the diary session. Yes, Onyeka does cry. I get so many times she cry in the diary session, but publicly Onyeka doesn't cry inside the house. She will not cry, but Chizoba will cry. Hey, Onyeka did not want my ideas. Hey, Onyeka, I said this thing must go this way. Onyeka said ha ha ha. No, there is no time for crying. You need to clear your head inside the game, ne? And then you come and strategize, the both of you. Look at them, but we're twins. When they see or something is not good, then you will see them in the corner talking, analyzing the game, the both of them. Or okay, let's do this. But she's supposed to say, Onyeka is not like that. It's like this. Well, Onyeka is trying to show her, or you know what? To be in the game, we need to do this. But Chizoba is failing to understand. Sometimes Onyeka is wrong, but not most of the time. Like Onyeka was wrong on that issue of the toilet. That one, Onyeka was wrong. Yes, Chizoba did the ballot thing, or they pick, ne? But it's not Chizoba's fault that the Mbadiwe twins did pick the toilet. Ne? So she came and insulted Chizoba. That one I didn't agree with Onyeka. That one she was totally wrong. But when I see the show and when I see you are analyzing videos,
Mm-hmm.
I look for okay. Onyeka,
Rose, your
most of the
network, can you move around?
time she's
Can you move around? Your network
right.
is really slow. Hello, Rose. There's a delay in your
She is
talk. Can you move around?
right.
Uh, okay. Rose, there's a heavy delay with your network. So if you can log out and then log back in so that we can hear clearly all you were saying like before. All right. So let's quickly speak with Adama and then we'll speak with Rose when she comes back. Hello.
Hello, Broly. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. You're welcome. How are you?
Thanks to God today I can reach you. I've been following you since 2021.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
This is the first
Thank
time to
you.
get you to join your
Wow.
life.
Thank
I
you so
really
much.
like
You're
your
welcome.
analysis. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for giving us updates because where we are, we cannot follow up 24 hours. But
Oh,
through your
wow.
analysis, we can get to continue where we stop.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
like my own observation of this show is that it's like the housemates, they have been looking and looking this show several times so they know what is going on. But the thing is that
Hmm.
their problem is why can't they give us the show? For
Hmm.
example, Big Brother asked to switch the eggs to take
Hmm.
them to the diary room. I was expecting them to react, give us something to talk about, give us something
Hmm.
to make us happy, saying the show is going on. But to my
Hmm.
observation is like the first week, the first 2 weeks of the show, they boosted their energy. And now they have
Hmm.
nothing to give to us. I was thinking maybe they should have cooled down because the more that the show is going, the more it's going to be interesting. But it's like this season 9, the more the time is going, the more the show is boring. For me, in
Hmm.
my own observation, I just think Big Brother could give Wanni the money and forget about it. Because they are not giving anything. There is
There you go.
nothing anymore. Onyeka was there gossiping everywhere, everywhere. She just stopped looking for love now. So, me, I'm not a fan of Shipper. I want content. I want bass boost, but I'm not seeing it again. So I don't have much to say, but all my wish,
Hmm.
let's just biggie see our thing and give the money because now even he bring up a twist in the show. They know about it. They will not react because they have been following. 8 years
Yeah,
is not 8 days, it's not 8 weeks, it's not 8 months. So they know what is happening. If not, they are missing. And for the taxes, I see that this season, all the taxes they win, they never deserve it. It's like Big Brother just give it to them to say, let them don't fail all the taxes in the season. But for
yeah.
me, everyone they lose. There is none of it that is genuine. There is none of these taxes that is genuine. So let me don't take your time much. I
All
want to say
right.
thank you very much because before you used to give us 5, 6 videos a day. But now
My
if
dad,
we
there's
got,
nothing to give anymore.
that's what I'm saying. Now if we got two, it's by the grace of God.
Yes,
So
so.
every day I'll be looking, no notification, no notification. They are not doing anything. And people
No.
are wasting their subscription. We don't
No.
want to look at somebody who is sleeping or eating. It's not that what we want. So I say thank you very much.
You're welcome. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for always watching, always engaging with my content. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Thank you too.
All right.
Let me leave you.
this this caller wants to cause wahala here. Say they should give the money to Wani. One is other fans now will not come and say, "Oh, Glory, you're campaigning for Wanni." Please do. I'm not campaigning for anybody. But I want to respond to this comment. This one is from Flora. Flora says, "You can't tell us who to love or support. Do you know what grace is? Pray for the same grace to follow you without doing too much. Even your enemies will support how God elevating you without doing too much." Auntie Flora, nobody on this platform, I don't think anybody, okay, let me speak for myself. Glory Elijah is not telling anybody who to support and who not to support. All right. In case you missed it, let me reiterate that in this community, we analyze the show. All right. We're not going to tell you directly or indirectly who to support and who not to support. But what we're going to do is we're going to analyze the show, every single situation happening in the show, every single event as they unfold. And we're going to give you clarity, especially clarity, which is very key. We're going to give you clarity for a lot of events that will likely happen that you might miss or you might not understand when they happen. So, dearest Auntie Flora, I hope this message finds you well. We are not tampering with your grace. We are not tampering with your faith's grace. And we are not telling you who to support and who not to support. Dearest Auntie Flora, yours sincerely, Glory Elijah. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is all. That is all, no, because I have spoken, I have spoken, I have sparked, I've said so many things about this analysis of a thing, but people will still come here and say we are trying to tell people who to support. I beg, we are not doing that. Oh my God. God. This is crazy. Oh my Lord. Auntie Flora, thank you for that comic relief. I can't even be upset. Why should I be upset? Oh my Lord. Oh God. But really, every time we hear talks about grace, this housemate has grace, this housemate has grace. I'm sorry, I believe in God, but I don't like the over religiosity, if there's any word like that, the over religiosity of the show. Like when people want to look at how a housemate gains their support, they want to add too much spirituality to it. It is grace, it is grace, it is come on. And sometimes other people make it look like God loves only their fave and God does not love every other housemate on the show. Come on. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I am guessing that is all for today because as far as I'm concerned, I have said most of what I want to say. And Melissa is saying that Flora was responding to a comment. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. That is all. I have analyzed as much as I can analyze. As I told you all before, and I will still tell you all, I will analyze what is portrayed on the show. All right. If I add anything else to it, it's going to be my personal observation. But I will always analyze what is on the show. And sadly, the week has been kind of uneventful. There's been one or two events, and we've talked about it, but generally, it's not been overly as exciting as the earliest weeks of the season. Another thing that came up this week is I don't know if I should call it the ship, but I feel like it's now a ship, the thing going on between Ozzy and Onyeka. And I told myself I'm not going to talk about it because I think we talked about it briefly last week. And they are now acting like they're in a full ship, although Onyeka's fans are claiming that they are siblings. And that is kind of weird to me because if you call what they are doing siblingship, then it can also pass as incest. It doesn't make sense. So let's not even call it siblingship because it doesn't even pass for siblingship, all right? So I don't want to talk about it, okay? Don't want to talk about it because they are adults. If they want to date, they should date. Why do they want to hide it? So I'm going to leave it and I'm going to wait till tonight during the Saturday night party to see if anything else would come out of it. Because in the meantime, most of what they are doing, they are hugging, and in fact, the body touching, body rubbing is a lot. So let's see if they're going to extend it into kissing and any other thing. But for now, in my opinion, it's not siblingship that's going on there. The so-called breasty thing they have going on, it is not a breasty thingy. There's more to it. So that more to it is what I'm waiting to see. When it happens, trust me to spill it all here. All right. And that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining today's conversation. It's quite interesting that we're finishing early today. I'm actually happy because it gives me time to rest as well. And I want to give a special shout out to AB Okoli. Every Saturday, AB ensures to drop a token for this community. And AB did so last week, but before I could give her a shout out, she had logged out. She said she had to go to work. So AB, I want to thank you so much. You are a rare gem. Thank you so much for always giving me tokens to buy my tea. It always comes in handy. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I also noticed that we had new members this week. Some people joined our membership, our channel's membership this week. Thank you so much for joining. You are especially welcome to the community. I mean, you didn't have to, but you're doing it. So I am grateful. Thank you for doing what you do. And for every single person that is a silent listener, a silent viewer, thank you so much for your contribution, whether you're speaking or not, but your presence here is a lot. It is a lot of contribution to me. So thank you so much. To every single one of you that shared your opinion, you verbalized it, or you shared your opinion in the comment section, thank you so much. I am grateful. Who else have I not thanked? I don't know, but yeah, every single one of you that always ensures that our live streams happens every Saturday. I am grateful. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Flora. That's Flora giving me giving me my flowers and even clapping for me. Flora, mwah, kisses. Kisses to you only. Yeah, but thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. I will see you guys on another video soon. All right. Tonight there's a Saturday night party. Looking forward to seeing what the housemates have in store for us. And then tomorrow, live eviction show, but there is no eviction. Most of all, I am looking forward to what's his name now, Ebuka's interaction with the housemates. I hope he throws some fire questions to all of them, because that is always the highlight for me for every live eviction show. Yes. Oh, see, AB has given me money for tea again. AB, thank you so much. Wherever this money is coming from, I pray that God replenishes it 1,000-fold for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. Yes, I will buy more tea. Thank you so much. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for today's live conversation. I will see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing evening.